Hello.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Gilded Flask, where adventure is never far. My name is Barry, and I will be your Dungeon Master for this session. Session number 7. Wow, we're quite on the ways. And I'm joined by 3 wonderful people. Please go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hey, man, I play Kalalala Cot, a bard who likes spirits and mysteries.
I'm John. I'm playing the human paladin of midnight, who also doubles as a tasty snack.
And I'm Marissa. I'm playing Casariel, the dark, deceivingly dark, but beautiful ASMR cleric.
If you've never visited our place before, we post weekly recordings of our playthrough on YouTube, and as you can see, if you're live with us right now, we're also live on Twitch, and we're very proud of that. If you're curious about all our social outlets that we have, please go to thegildedflask.com or look at the various little buttons that we have around Twitch and around YouTube for our socials. As we are still relatively new, we don't have any sponsors just yet, but we do have a couple of awesome people that we'd like to shout out because they have helped bring our dream to life. First up, that is D. Chandra and Paradox for the amazing character art that our characters have. Then we have Pyram King, James RPG Art, and DM Andy for creating the wonderful maps that we're playing on. As a matter of fact, we will currently start on a map of DM Andy, so look out for that. Yeah. And Tabletop Audio, Scott Buckley, Phoenix Music, and Alexander Nakarada for the great musical scores that we will be using in the background, and so many more. But those are the people that deserve a legendary shout out. And with that, let's head into the tale.
Tell me, do you like ghost stories? I've been investigating people vanishing mysteriously into the night, never to return. It looks like I've found out where they've been.
Good evening. I don't like this place. The air feels heavier.
Did you hear that?
What do you mean he's watching?
In this place, nothing is what it seems.
We come from an ancient land. There's no time for this. What are you looking for?
This place has taken my father and my mother. It will not have me.
We gotta move, now.
Oh, I do love a good mystery.
Barovia is mine, and so are you.
And we're back.
Love the intro. Wonderful, wonderful. For those of you that don't know already by now, this intro was made by the one, the only Marissa. You did so well, honestly. It's such a piece of art. Every single time I see it, it's like, I'm watching Netflix. Oh, wait, it's us. It's so good. All right, so where did we leave off last time? Last time, you entered the village of Barovia. You went to the bar, you got yourself a room for about a week, I believe you bought, right, Carla?
Yes, a week.
Yes.
I just, in case we get back.
So you got a room for a week in the tavern. You slept over there, you talked to a couple of people, you met Ismark Koljanovic, the son of the Burgomeister, the late Burgomeister, as he has died. And that passing was relatively recent. He would attribute that to nightmares that have gone out of hand, so to speak, that he thinks that his father was basically cursed. And he asked you if you could help him out with giving his father a proper burial. as nobody in the village wanted to have anything to do with that. You agreed with that. You accompanied him and his sister Irina to the Barovian church, where you held a little ceremony together with... It was wonderful, right? Like, for those of you that haven't seen the ceremony, do check back. It was hilariously uncomfortable.
Spoiler alert, we're starting a band.
Yes.
Not a good one, but one of them.
You didn't know any of the songs or the text used in the burial rites, but luckily there were some waterlogged books for you guys to have. Not much to go on, but still, and that was a lot of fun. Then you also heard some screaming coming from somewhere in the church, and Carla went on an investigation, finally finding a hatch that went to the undercroft of the church, where a very gaunt-looking, pale figure was sitting and screaming that he was very, very hungry. And, well, you guys attacked it, and subsequently also killed it. Not coming out of the battle completely unscathed, but alive nonetheless.
Unscathed?
And not exactly unscathed, right? Like, you're a little bloody.
I was unscathed.
You were
Seems so
perfectly
great.
pristine, yes. But still, other than that, you survived. And you are back over at the church, currently still in the Undercroft, with this gaunt, pale body just lying lifeless on the floor in front of you. And I ask of you, what is your next move?
I'm going to drop to my knees and start kind of inspecting the body. Like, does it look human? Like, I lift up the lip a little bit to see if it has fangs, because it tried to bite us. Like,
So for visual sake, I will quickly show the token again, even though usually I remove tokens when someone is dead, but I will show it to accompany the way he really looks. So in front of you is a relatively young man who, as I just said, looks pretty gaunt, pretty slim, very pale, very... Like, this person looks like they're sick, kind of, and like they haven't seen sunlight in a very, very long time. They don't have very deep-set eyes, but their eyes are still very... well, I mean, they're dead now, but they looked lifeless even when he was alive. They had a little yellow hue over them. Lifting his lip up, indeed, you do see two protruding, like, longer fangs in his set of teeth. And all over his hands and basically the rest of his exposed skin, you can see just damages, just of someone trying to maybe claw at something and not being able to like, basically trying to dig through a stone wall. That's what he looks like. His clothing is very simple.
do you have anything in his pockets?
Give me an investigation check.
Oh, exciting.
Well, while she's rooting through his pockets, John is essentially slumped against the pillar with his weapon, like, laying on the thing as if he's trying to hold it down just in case it came back.
Was it an investigation, you said?
Yes.
25.
25. All right. So you root around his few pockets that he has. Very simple clothing he's wearing. And in one pocket, you actually find a piece of parchment.
Straight away, taking it, opening it. What does it say anything? Is it just parchment?
The parchment has a little writing on it.
Mm-hmm.
And as you read it, it says it's about that size, indeed. It's about the size of a postcardish.
Oh, so like this for her.
Yeah, like justice for Carla. Yes, it's about a quarter Carla. You know, it's
Regular Carla size, yes.
At some point we need to make Carla a unit of measurement. Like, I'm just, anyways, because anything to avoid the metric system, right, guys?
What?
That bridge is 50 Carlos long.
Yes. So you open up the parchment, and looking at the parchment, it says, "Go forth and bother me no more." And nothing more.
I'm going to kind of like swing out my backpack and start rooting around for the letter that I found in the home, the death house. And I'm going to try and compare the writing. Do they look similar?
So as you close the parchment to start doing that, it just burns up out of itself. It doesn't hurt you. It's just gone. You can compare from memory, but you'll have to roll.
I'll roll. Like I'm kind of like searching through and really like looking at it to see. Does it match? Was it? Okay.
Do a perception check on that.
Perception. Okay, 16 plus 3, so 19.
19. Yeah, it's the same style. So it's hard to say if it's one-on-one comparison because then you'd have to really do a one-by-one. But it's same style.
These are all either coming from the same person or the same place. Strange.
Are we sure
Goes
it's
to my
dead?
knees. Brush it off.
Carla, you looked in its mouth. Did you see anything strange?
There was a note, and it looked similar to one that we found in the house that we first arrived in. I don't know if it's the same person, this Strahd fellow that we keep hearing about. It. I mean, does he have something to do with this thing?
Are there torches in this room? Was there light in here? I can't remember.
It's very, very dim light because the undercroft isn't that high. You can barely stand here, especially you, Sariel. You can barely stand here. But the planks above have creaks in them, and there is light from the candles above shining through. So it is dimly lit, but dimly at best.
Do either of you have any fire?
I feel like you had lit up my weapon in the last one as we move forward.
Yeah, you did.
So
you did. Yes. So there's light.
I believe I have a torch somewhere.
I have a tin box. I can light a torch if you need.
Okay.
I'm going to bend down and sort of inspect it as well. Like, I'm gonna notice the teeth and say, this only happens in stories. This is, strange. But in the stories, I believe, burning the body is the best idea.
Yes, we
Of
should
course, they do
burn
have
the fiend.
someone upstairs that we might mind.
Oh, beheading seems to work.
At the very least, makes them easier to contain. You just
Can't
hold
do
the
much
head.
without a head.
I'm gonna use 3 of my lay on hand points to just like seal the wound on my hold up the little moon, and it glows for a moment as I hold it up, and it kind of almost cauterizes the wound, kind of deal.
Sure. Keeping in mind the fact that he did bring your maximum health points down, you can't heal above that, but sure, you can cauterize
Right.
your wound.
I'm basically healing up to the current hit points because I'm still not doing so hot. There we go. Just 3.
Yeah, I think we should. This was clearly not natural.
I mean,
John, do you want to, you feeling all right?
when we came down here, that thing was screaming fairly loudly. Do you think the priest just didn't know about it? I didn't hear it until you guys mentioned it to me, but
I looked at his face when one of the screams started, and he sort of flinched, like he knew it was there, but he was ignoring it, which tells me either he locked this thing down here, or he was in cahoots this thing down here to draw people in.
No. The benches upstairs are completely decimated. This is not a church. So, the question is, the the two that are joining him up there, are they in on it? Are we going to go up there and have another?
I think
roll?
this feels like a church. I mean, they may have been destroyed, but they were benches upstairs. They were pews. They were everything seemed to be like what I remember from back
Yes,
home
but
in
what
terms of
happened to
worship.
them?
If there's no other place, I can think of no other way to properly bury a member of the family other than bringing it to even a destroyed holy place. I mean, the grounds may still be hallowed, although with this thing here, they may have to reconsecrate it.
Don't think we could take another round, so if it starts to get dicey, we'll get the fuck out of here.
I do need to.
I
I need
want to
something.
know what's going on.
All right. What's our move here? They're all still up there, right? I don't think there's any chance that Father Donovich didn't know this was down here. How? Right. So
Screaming,
Let's,
they didn't even...
I think we should go confront him, and he's gonna start sort of stumbling back towards the stairs.
All right.
If they start drawing weapons, we leave.
Yes, of course. I don't think I want to fight with. They seem like decent people. As far as I know, they just seem like people who want to bury their father. I imagine they don't want to. I'm not going to fight them.
I will. Before I. Okay, I have a question. I have stakes in my inventory. In this world, is it known that vampires are killed to wooden stakes? Is that part of the lore?
Define this world.
D&D.
No,
Or
neither, where we are.
Come from. Yeah.
It is knowledge that might be privy to the right people. Whether or not you have had this in your training, I'll leave up to you.
I feel like this would kind of be like a...
I mean, I would say, if you want my DM's vision on that, you have him on you. You're not a carpenter, so there's only really one reason why you would have them on you.
All right. As they go, I'm going to search through my
You probably know what they're for. Yeah.
I'm going to search through my pack. I'm going to kneel down and just plunge it right into the center of its heart.
As you do that, his eyes light up very briefly, like just 1 second, without him saying anything. But as you do that, he's just like, ugh, and then nothing more.
I fall back and just kind of like do one of those like scoot all the way up against the wall things.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I think so. John, can I borrow your sword? Oh, he's gone. All right. I'm not staying down here by myself, so I scramble up and I'm gonna just head this way.
Right. You both also want to leave the Undercroft?
Yes.
Right.
Want is a curious word.
Definitely don't want to stay here.
Yes.
Let me move you over there.
Oh. My token still collides. Oh, sorry. There we go. Jeez. Sorry about that. I think I was the one closing the door.
#Foundry.
So John is like, he's not as confidently striding as he usually does, and he's sort of limping towards where the priest was, and he's not gonna confront him directly. He's gonna wait until Carla gets there and then sort of walk behind her at this point. But he does want to know what's going on.
Right. So as you move back into the main hall of the church, other than the chest that is still standing or lying there, Ismark, Irina, and Father Donovich, all three are looking at you with, well, different looks on their face. All three of them have a sort of like a shocked look on their face, because you can imagine what you guys just did down there is not silent. This was not a silent takedown. That was a scuffle, and there is like big wooden planks covering this, so that sort of helps, but you could definitely hear that something was being murder-faced down there. Yeah? So, especially Irina and Ismark are both looking at you three with that look of, the fuck just happened? Father Donovich looks at you with that as well, but he has a look of defeat on his face just as well.
Were you aware you had a little infestation downstairs?
You asking who?
Father Donovich.
I know.
It's gone now. Who was that, Father Donovich?
That was Doru, my son.
You saw him. Was your son always so mighty when he was alive?
No, and you deserve the story.
At the mention of story, her eyes kind of light up, and then she tries to like stifle it as she kind of reaches for like a pen and a paper.
DM note to self use the word story a lot more often.
Yes. Tell us.
Some months ago, an uprising happened in Barovia. Some adventurers came in and rallied the townsfolk. Quite a few of them. It was a lot busier here then than it is now. They managed to get people to join with them and move on the castle in an attempt to attack and possibly defeat Lord Strahd. My son was one of the townspeople that went with them, as he felt that injustice has been plaguing these lands for far too long. And some of the townspeople tried to stop them, some of them didn't. Some people, and he points over at the coffin that is still on the ground, he said some people decided not to get involved as to keep the peace. And look what comes of it. They went to the castle, and only my son returned. He burst in here. And even though he recognized me, I did not recognize him. I didn't know what had happened to him, but I did know that that was only part of what my son once was. As a father, what should I do? What could I do? So the best option I had at the time was to lock him away underneath the church, for me to find a way to deal with him. And I guess we found the way to deal with him.
I'm sorry for your loss. And we did try to talk to him. It wasn't a brutal killing, but you have to understand whatever was down there couldn't be saved, I think. Though I'm not the expert, I think these two would be.
Father.
Yes?
That thing, it wasn't your son anymore, but it was a monstrosity. You're saying that your son went where? Went to some castle? Is it the one up on the hill?
It is.
So when he left, he was normal, as he always was.
My son. Yes.
And he came back that thing.
Yes.
What could have... He's going to turn to Xariel. What makes a man into a monstrosity like that? I've seen these things. I'm sorry if I'm speaking harshly about your son, sir, but I've seen things like this. We've seen things like this that were corpses raised. Is it possible your son fell in battle and something was done to him?
Your guess is as good as mine. I am no soldier, but the roads to the castle are dangerous. And I have never been to the castle myself, but you can imagine that I have my suspicions about what kind of castle that is.
Something.
You've never met the lord of this land?
Only in passing.
In passing. Why did the people rise up against him?
I think you are privy to know this. And he looks over at Ismark and Irina, and they nod to him. He says, if you take a good look around you, what do you see? Outside of the church.
We have not seen much of the lands yet.
Exactly.
Wolves.
It's exactly my point. You haven't seen much. What have you seen?
Mist, wolves, and a rather delightful shopkeep.
A rather depressing population.
Yes.
Mist. Mist and endless rows of trees. It is the land of Barovia at its worst. On the edges of our lands lie large forests decked in mist. And if you wish to traverse those, either through the road or just through the forest itself, all that you will find is your own steps leading into the forest. You cannot get through the mist in any way. If you will tie a rope to a tree and then walk straight ahead into the mist, what you will find is, straight ahead of you, the tree that you just bound your rope to. This land is a prison. That makes people angry.
We've met people from this land before we got here. How can that be?
People that claim that they have gone through, right?
Someone that brought us here.
Those would be the Vistani. The Vistani have a special bond, if you will, with the land, for they are the only ones that can traverse these mists. They are very shady about how they do it. They say that it's predominantly the bond that they have, and they say that they do have certain magics and incantations and potions that can help for a very limited time to traverse. They are very expensive, though, so the common Barovian will never be able to afford those.
I'm sorry, did you say there's a potion that will allow you to go back and forth?
That's what they claim, yes. I'm no Vistani myself, but that's what I've heard. And I've heard that it's so ridiculously priced that no ordinary Barovian can purchase it.
And if an ordinary Barovian was to purchase it, where would they purchase it from?
I'd say from the Vistani.
Right, and we would find the Vistani.
They travel the road, up and down. Occasionally they stop by in villages. Bildrath over here in the village is a Vistani himself. He might know where they camp out.
I believe he told us stay by the pool. Is that what he said? Like a pool of water?
There is a river nearby, a little bit to the west. Perhaps that river connects to that pool, would be my guess.
You said this land is like a prison.
Yes.
Who's the warden? Who's got you imprisoned?
Who is usually in charge of something? The person at the top, is it not?
I knew there was something off about that Strahd fellow. Everyone keeps mentioning weird things about him, contradicting opinions.
I understand your sentiment, miss. But do know that Strahd isn't all bad. He does look after us in his own way. And some things befall people for reasons beyond their power. And he points over at the coffin. Perhaps it's not his own volition.
So it's not his fault that he keeps people prisoners? Yeah?
I am not one to question our Lord.
No, of course not.
Like it's not a child's fault for having a pet bird that it feeds well.
Yes, but if the rest of the world tells this child that this bird needs to be kept in a cage to keep it safe, the child will do so.
I see. Well, all directions point towards the Vistani. We should go meet this Madame Eva.
Ismark and Irina look at you and say, before you go, we've already asked so much of you, but the coffin is here. We've done the burial rites, for which we're very thankful, but could you help us bring him out into the churchyard so we can give him the actual burial, and then please, don't let us bother you any longer.
I mean, no disrespect. I say to them, before looking back to Father Donovich, do you have any more surprises we should be ready for?
No, other than mists, and well, that's not even much of a surprise anymore, right? Other than dreariness and mist, and my son, I have nothing else.
You will come with us then. Of course.
Of course, I am the one to actually have to put him in the ground. I just need people to help me get him over there.
John steps forward and wordlessly takes his place, ready to pick up the coffin. You can hear him muttering, "Using a rope for navigation, that's brilliant."
As I sort of pass him by, I'm going to give him like a little tap on the back, and I'm like, keep up your strength, and I'm going to cast heroism, so that you gain 2 temporary hit points. It's not a lot, but it might help if we run into anything.
That will
You
definitely
effectively double
help.
his hit point pool.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Adding a little bit.
Yeah, that I'm not quite half of what I originally once was, but I'm close.
Not last.
Yeah. But yeah, like John heard that whole tying a knot and walking. He's like, "Oh my god, that's brilliant." So yeah, he'll pick up the coffin. It's like, "Are we?" I don't feel as he looks at Casariel and Carly. He's like, I may not be as much use in a fight as I once was. We'll have to be on a guard.
Speaking of that, perhaps the next time we encounter an enemy, I think they might be a bit more difficult here than at home. So perhaps, little recon. See how they move, see how they and try to take cover.
This one was intelligent. We've faced things like this before, and it's always been putting down an animal. But this was intelligent. It was talking. And he's gonna pick up the coffin.
It's rather my point, though, is This is not what we're used to, so the old ways of hack and slash might not work here. Just be careful, that's what I'm saying.
I agree.
We need you around for protection, so don't die.
In the same vein, I agree with you. In the same vein, we may need to be a little bit more swift if we find ourselves in one of these situations. I appreciate the care when trying to keep me in good condition, but we may need to go for the throat.
Yes,
first.
I heard you. Let you die and kill the thing. No, I understand what you're talking about. We are
Don't
listening
let
to
me
each other.
die. Just kill the thing first
Yeah.
and then patch me up.
You looked pretty fucked up.
He's gonna like basically one hand to this coffin and start walking with it.
Carla reaches out the mage hand to help you a little bit.
That's all I'm saying. Little cover never hurt anyone. He's so stubborn. God, he's so stubborn. I say to Carla.
So lovers spat really the time with, and I point to the people mourning at the side.
Come on, von Stenemark. Let's go.
Do what now?
Stanelich. I'm sorry, I've forgotten your name.
Eastmark.
Eastmark, yes. Can you
Yes.
help?
Yes. So they all stand around the coffin and they will bring it outside. And they will go this way. Towards the cemetery entrance. It's rather swift, right? Even though with they're carrying a coffin. It's amazing how quickly they can walk over there.
I don't have any sight. Can you open up my sight? I only have sight of like the first 4 chambers. Like everything else is.
Oh, she can't see the grounds.
Yep. Well, as a matter of fact, I'm going to reveal everything because we're going into the cemetery anyways.
Awesome.
So you allow me.
Thank you.
Foundry.
Where'd you go?
Foundation.
Now you should be able to see everything, right?
Yes.
Wonderful. All right. So as you approach the cemetery gates, Casariel, roll me a. No, don't roll me. What is your passive perception?
13.
Good enough. As you step out of the church, you notice that it's a rather cloudy night, but through the clouds you can see the moon. And being rather acquainted with the moon yourself, you would assess the time right now would be close to midnight.
All right.
You approach the graveyard, and you stand in front of a very creaky, rusty, wrought iron fence that gives way to a rather large churchyard, which, from where you are standing right now, is just filled with gravestones and a couple of those like larger plots, some tombs, some crypts, and in the center a couple of like larger tombstones. A lot of people have been buried here. Like for a village, this is a large churchyard. Father Donovich walks in front and turns over to here, where a stone burial, like what's that? Like a sarcophagus, that's the word for it, right? Like a stone sarcophagus is already open for the coffin to be placed in.
I'm following Eastmark's lead at this point.
Right. So the coffin is put on the ground here for now. And Father Donovich turns to all of you and he says, all right. The time has come where we give his body back to the earth to let him rest eternal, waiting for the sun to come above the horizon once more in service of the Morning Lord, so that his body may be absolved of any wrongdoings he might have done in this life, and live life everlasting. He walks forward towards the coffin to start lifting it into the sarcophagus. As he does, you hear all three. Well, what is all three of your passive perceptions? Let me ask that first.
13.
12.
13.
I'm only slightly less perceptive.
Shocker. As you reach forward for the coffin, in the distance, behind you, you hear hoof sounds of a horse. As a matter of fact, or are they coconuts? Sorry, I had to do it.
Perfect.
Horse. Bandit. Rob.
Oh, Bandit. Oh, such a good boy.
Those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, by the way, Bandit was the horse of your previous character, right?
Eventually, we will be releasing some of that.
Such a beautiful boy. So smart. Could take care of all the rest of the horses. They were all dumb. Thank God for
And
Bandit.
he only ate pristine apples, right? Just
Obviously.
yes.
The best.
Orange apples.
So you hear a horse coming nearby. As a matter of fact, you hear multiple horses coming nearby. Do you guys turn around to see where it's coming
Absolutely.
from? All right. You turn around towards the wrought iron gate, and you see that in front of the wrought iron gate, 4 black horses slowly approach and then stop, carrying a large black carriage. And it stops right in front of the gates. It sits there for a very short time, and then the door opens. And from the carriage, a man emerges, with as well a very gaunt face, but much older looking than the gentleman that you saw. He has some elvish features to him, and his hair is starting to grow a little thin, so he looks a little older, but he still has a certain sharpness about him. And he steps forward towards the gates. And then from the carriage, a second person emerges. And that second person also has that very gaunt-looking shape to his face. But he looks much younger. Like early 30s or late 20s at best. He's wearing a beautiful mantle and beautiful armor underneath. And he gets out of his carriage very slowly, and he strides towards the gates, standing right behind the gentleman that exited that stagecoach first. And he just motions into the graveyard towards all of you. The one in front approaches all of you very slowly, and you notice that in his hand, he's holding a bouquet of flowers. And he comes closer, and he passes you by, Casariel. And he stands in front of Ismark and looks just around her towards Irina. And he says, "My condolences for your loss. My lord is concerned for your safety, as it has become unsafe for you in this village. News has spread that you have been under constant siege from beasts from the woods, and I am here to escort you with my lord back to Castle Ravenloft for your safety. Please excuse the interruption. I will wait for you at the carriage." And he turns around and he starts walking away.
I look
How
towards
does-
Irina. She
Yeah.
react.
Irina stands there like, what was that? Ismark, however, has a totally different look on his face. Ismark looks angry. Like angry. And he looks at this man that is walking away. And he points at him at his back and he says, You are no more than a lackey for that evil that dwells in the castle. And he just continues. He just walks over here and stands at the gate, turning around with a bit of a smile on his face, but nothing more. The person behind him stands next to him.
Kyla's gonna kind of peek her head out and go,
You get like no reaction, even though you see two pairs of eyes staring down at you for a second.
oh, Dr. Friendly Sort. Are you going to go?
That was rather rude of him to come up and barge in during your father's ceremony.
I mean, rude? What do you mean? They brought flowers. That's pretty typical for a funeral, is it not?
I was saying it was rather rude, but Ismark, that's no need to
Oh,
besmirch
yes.
this ceremony with foul language.
Ismark looks at all of you, like still like with writhing anger in his eyes, and he looks over back at them and then back at you guys. Shaking his head like this. How dare he?
How? Yes.
Do you know them? Are they? Should we invite them in? Or?
Xero, family issues.
What if they're estranged cousins?
They don't look much alike.
Ismark turns again to the wrought iron gates and points again, but this time not to the one that came towards you guys, but to the other one. And he says, You have brought terror to these lands. You have caused my father's death. My sister will never follow you into the dark halls of Ravenloft that loom over as a dark shadow over this village. You are not welcome here. Be gone. And as he says that, he charges forward towards him.
Can I make like can I try make to grab him and like basically hold him back and be like, think of your father. This is for him. Don't
Give me an opposing strength check on that.
Okay.
I'll oppose dexterity.
Okay, opposing strength. So strength for me, and that is 11.
You grab his coat very shortly, and it slips out of your hand, and he still rushes forward.
Ismark! I'm going to try and cast Charm Person.
All right, go ahead.
Words.
What's the saving throw on that?
I believe it's a DC 12 Wisdom. Yeah.
What does he have for wisdom? Hang on.
He doesn't seem very wise, just in this moment.
He makes that with a 16.
Well, yeah, nothing happens. I try to reach out to try and, like, still him for a moment, but my words just don't... They don't seem to be reaching. Go.
He rushes forward, and as he reaches the wrought iron gates and stands face to face with this other person standing next to the one that approached you, he almost runs into him when this other person just grabs him by the throat, lifts him up from the ground a little bit, and just snaps his neck and throws him aside. The lifeless body of Ismark just cast away to the side of the wrought iron fence, and just laying there. This person looks at you three again and says, "The poor boy, believing that he was more than he was, never respecting his elders, means suffering the consequences of your actions. I take it as a no for now. And I feel I am not welcome here. I will bid my farewell. May we see each other again sometime."
As soon as he ends his speech, I, like, dive forward towards Ismark's body and try to like cast Cure Wounds to see if I can get any life back into him. Like any healing magic that I can kind of do. So that is okay. 1d8 plus my spellcasting modifier. It's 8. Okay, plus 2, that's 10. 10 health points back into him.
What little wounds he had will close, but otherwise he is still lying there with a broken neck.
No.
The two gentlemen.
So in that meantime, I had stepped in front of Irina, and then I would like to have grabbed John's like wrist to try to like hold him back.
John, do you let that happen?
John, actually, in this moment, John's kind of ambivalent. Not ambivalent, but he's almost confused. He doesn't really. It looked like this man was rushing somebody to attack them at his own father's funeral, and then the other man reached out and killed him. But Ismark was making to attack someone just almost seemingly randomly, as far as John's concerned, and like. He doesn't understand how he could do that as father's funeral. He made to grab him and he slipped through and he's almost stunned. John's almost stunned at this. And he's going to start making his way, try to make his way towards Carla. If Casario holds him, he's probably going to.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm gonna try to hold you. I'm like shielding Irina and trying to hold you back from moving forward.
Feeling your hand on him, he'll be stayed. But
all right, so you will stay where you are.
He's kind of stunned.
The two gentlemen have seen you, Carla, approaching Ismark, but they will neglect that situation, turn around, and walk back to the carriage.
Casario,
enter the carriage, and the carriage drives off.
I have to go see to Ismark. I don't understand what just happened.
I'm freaking stupid. Irina, you're right.
Is he?
Oh, right. Oh, probably not all right. John's gonna go make sure. Go check, right, John? John's gonna go take.
He sort of looks back at you and shakes his head. And he's gonna talk. He's gonna essentially sit there with Carla, kind of put him in a more peaceful pose for the moment.
Irina, do you know him?
Who?
The man that just brought you those flowers. You know him?
No, I haven't seen him before. He's probably. Is my brother dead?
I'm just gonna step out of her way so she can go over there.
And she will. And
As
she will
she's
fall to
approaching.
her knees, having a look at him.
Gave what magic I could. Stop. Sorry.
She will notice that he's indeed dead, and she will start crying over there. Like on her knees, face buried on his chest.
Carla will kind of look up at John and go, give her a moment.
Do you have a cloak or a blanket or anything? I don't really have anything in my bags. Just to comfort her.
Moment.
Okay, he's. Oh, okay. And back up and go to Casario.
As you do, Father Donovich approaches you, also looking slightly distressed by this, because something, right? But trying to keep his composure. He gets to the two of you, Casario, John, and he says, She needs to leave here.
Oh, how are you going to take her?
Away from this place. I don't trust that man that just approached us for one bit, but he was right about one thing. She is no longer safe here. The one that was keeping her safe was Ismark, her brother, and...
What happened?
Who was that? It was... Seems rather grand.
That was him.
Who?
Strahd.
All right, let's just quickly. Can we recap? His man came in, gave some flowers, said it was dangerous, that she should come back to the castle, and then Ismark ran up. He.
What could have possessed Ismark to attack the
Ismark
the
has lived in the shadow of his father for a long time. His father has been a very steadfast burgomaster of this village and has ruled over here with relative wisdom, as well as you can in a land like this. And Ismark has always lived in the shadow of his father, but that doesn't mean that he didn't see things. He saw people being killed. He saw people being, well, he saw people going to the castle and never returning, right? He knew my son. He knows what's... something doesn't add up. And when you then get hit by the fact that your father, who is a little older, but definitely still healthy, all of a sudden get frail and old and sick and scared within a matter of weeks, to just die by a nightmare. That makes you think certain things, and when all of that points to one person, one might get angry. I understand his convictions, even though I don't agree with them.
One moment.
I do understand.
You're saying that was the man who lives in the castle where your son went and came back as he was. Casariel, do you think it's possible that he has some sort of evil that can create those things? What?
I think it's entirely possible. It's the only possibility so far that we know of. Something happened to him. Whether on the road there or back, something happened.
The lands themselves are very dangerous. The lands themselves are unforgiving, but apparently if you defy our Lord, so is he. She, however, needs to leave.
And how do you propose that happens? You yourself told us that this place, not even a rope can help us navigate out.
Oh, but that is on the edges of our land. There are still places you can go if you follow the road. I have a suggestion. Far to the west of where we are now lies the village of Kresk. And over there is an abbey. I know this abbey well. It's been years since I visited it, but I know it well. I was taught to become a pastor over there. It is a holy place and one of the last bastions of safety and light. If she is to be safe anywhere, she needs to go there. As to how she will go there, well, perhaps you could bring them, but I mean, you don't exactly blend into a crowd, I'm sorry.
You're asking us to take her to this Kresk.
I'm asking you to make sure that she gets there safely. If you can... If she could have only gone with Ismark, if Ismark wouldn't have been so foolish to do this, he could have taken her. Maybe someone else that...
You, what are you up to? You know, do you have any plans?
I have to bury my son. I have to bury Ismark.
Right, sorry.
Well, yeah.
I still have to bury this man over here, our Burgermeister. And believe it or not, but the few people that still live here, they find their hope in three things, which are the wine that is served in the tavern, the pastry pies that are still being made for us by and the church. As little comfort as it brings, it still brings some comfort to those that live here. I have my job here.
Do you still hold services here?
I do.
When he says that, John's going to look over his shoulder through the window at the just absolutely devastated remains of the pews. Standing room only?
It's not much, I know, but it's the best we can do for now.
Right.
If you two would agree, I would say, of course, we will help her, but I have a request. My father was a paladin of Lathander, Morning Lord. And I know very little about him, but I do know that while he was here, he tried to help the people. So if we do take Irina to safety, could we have your word that you will gather the people and restore the church, so you can have a proper service?
You have my word, and I will add to that if your father was a paladin in service of Lathander, you will maybe find information about him at the Abbey. The Abbey is in service of the Morning Lord. They keep extensive records of everyone who's ever helped or worked for the Morning Lord. If there's any place where you would be able to find information, it would be there.
Just gonna look to John and Carla.
The Abbey, is it in the same direction as the pool? We're kind of looking for...
It's way farther. You will have to travel down the road. You will have to go past the village of Valaki.
But is it in the same
direction?
direction?
It's on the road, though. It's... Barovia...
We're trying to go to a place, and you understand.
The large road that goes through our town is called the Old Svalich Road. The Old Svalich Road knows two directions, west and east. You've come from the east, so the only part of the road that you can still follow is towards the west. It splits off here and there, but the Old Svalich road goes from east to west. If you follow the road, you will find Valaki, and you will find Kresk, and there you will find the Abbey. It is quite a few days' travel, but if you stick to the road, you should be able to find it.
You don't have a map, do you?
I do not. I myself have only traveled once to the Abbey, and that's been 30 years.
We have to help. I mean, she's lost her brother and her father, and this place, no offense, Father, this place seems terrible.
None taken. You were right.
And I'm going to be honest, Xariel, I haven't felt any sanctity since we ran into the woods all those nights. Well, God, that saloon, that was 2 nights ago. I could do with a place to clear my head and re-sanctify, reattune to saloon.
This place used to have more places like that, but as you can imagine, a world like this caves in on itself.
How far is his reach? Will he come for her?
I can't say. There's a very famous saying about this man, and especially in a situation like this, I would like to remind you of that. They say that he is the ancient. He is the land. He rules his lands wisely. And rule he does. So if he will come for her even over there, in a bastion of light and glory, if there's any place where she has a shot, it would be there. But will he come for her? I hope not.
People like pie here that much. They find comfort in pie?
The meat pies were delicious.
It's one of the few things that are actually just above what other drab that we have over here. You see, what little farm fields we have in this area don't produce that much. It's like the ground is cursed. We get just enough to survive. Most people live on bean soup or a baked potato with no condiments. That's the very best that they could muster. So if you'd contrast that to a freshly baked pie, which we every once in a while can get from a little ways down the road, you can imagine what something so small can do to people.
Cassariel, I think we ate all the pies.
Right. Well, we didn't know. We didn't know.
God.
Anything else we should ask before we... We should stay tonight before we go?
I think I would do well with a rest. I still don't feel... sir, your son packed a wallop, if that makes you feel any better.
It seems he has improved then.
You two are priests, right? You deal with grieving people, not you, them too.
Well, we're raised under the Silverstar.
Save it.
I was raised under the Silverstar. I was taught to be strong and fearless. Not so much with the ceremonies and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they wanted me to take over the whole thing at one point, and then they were like, absolutely fucking not. She's a nightmare. So I basically hit things hard.
Me too.
Yeah,
You're very effective, Cassariel.
And
with all due respect, if you are considered a nightmare for where you come from,
oh, you're still here. Sorry.
That place someday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So we've got a highly wanted woman with a man who can snap someone's neck with simply his hat.
No, she's a death trap. She's an absolute death trap. I mean, you realize by taking her, we are defying the ancient land.
Someone who possibly creates monstrosities or has something to do with them, at least. I don't feel too off about defying someone like that.
Well, we best hope he's good at getting tricked by disguises.
I mean, he did you...
I'm pretty good at that.
He actually killed...
No, John.
With, it was like a finger.
I think I actually make it worse. I think it was the guy that Ismark pointed and said lackey. I think he was the one who...
It was worse. Was it the...
The just stood by.
Okay.
Just stood by.
Okay. I missaw. I wasn't really paying attention.
They both had long black hair, I understand.
They look quite
all you
alike,
humans
though
kind of
one
look the same.
Yeah, it's only one definitely looked human. The other one, the lackey, looked more elvish and a lot older.
Father, would you excuse us for just one moment?
Of course, yes. All right. And he just walks away a little bit.
Just before he goes, I'm gonna just quickly grab him, like, he didn't come inside the church. Can he not?
Strahd?
Yes.
He's never been in there. No.
No. And I turn back to them. What's up?
So, my goal here is to find my mother. Making enemies of the lord of this land is kind of counter to my intentions, I'm not saying I will... How do we know she's really in danger?
We need to help her.
They gave her flowers.
Her
They didn't
brother
kill her.
just died. Her father died very recently, I think.
Why doesn't she just stay here? It's not so bad in the cemetery. Clearly you couldn't come in here.
Sorry. That's ridiculous.
Well, I think we're all not factoring in something very important, which is what does she want?
Of course, yes, we need to ask her. And also, if we are going to stay here another night or rest somewhere, because I don't know if I can go out on the road in this condition, what's she going to do, even if she wants to come? What becomes of her then?
No,
I'm not sharing my chair.
To get to him. And he's going to come for her, so I'll be able to talk to him if she's with me. Probably far easier than if she's gonna like stop in her like thinking and just like look at the other two are probably horrified how awful she's being.
No, Carla is absolutely on the same thread.
No, you're right, John.
Okay.
You're right. We should keep her with us. Certain.
What's her name? Sorry, I was going to ask her as Ismark's sister. Irina. Okay, thank you. God, that would have been awkward.
How about you two let me do the talking? Shockingly.
I think it's a great idea.
I could ask her to spend the night. I don't know why that would be such a problem.
I think a strange man asking a beautiful young girl to spend the night in a cemetery has certain implications, especially after her two female figures in her life died. Well, I suppose you do have, the peak for comparison. And I kind of look vaguely at Cathariel for darting.
If she gestures to me, I'm like...
She's not that beautiful. How many people do you think she's even killed?
Right.
Well, maybe two.
Silverstar
Irina at this point is thrown clear and stands up. Eyes still red from the crying, but composing herself a little bit and approaches you.
Okay. Irina, we'll spend some time to properly bury both of your family members. And after that, I know that it's a huge choice to make after such a huge loss in your life, but you have two options, really. You can accept the offer that was put out to you, or we can try and get you as far away from this village as possible.
Yes. I need to mull that over. It's late. It must be midnight by now, and I need to stay the night. I need to think this over. I need to sleep, and then tomorrow I can make my choice. I need to clear my head. You're welcome to stay with me. I don't know if you have lodging, but you're welcome to stay in the mansion if you want.
Wasn't your mansion attacked by wolves?
It's been a long time, but yes.
Okay.
How about you stay at our lodging? We'll keep an eye on you. There's good pies there. Pay for the night. And that way we can make sure you're safe, I mean.
I don't suppose you have any swords.
That is all right. But in the morning, I do want to go and gather some items, some personal belongings that I want to take with me. before we go. I can't just up and leave. I need to take some things with me.
Of course.
Oh,
That's what you
agreed.
want.
We
You want to
should
leave.
go to her house. Should we not? Just
Yeah.
see what's there, and also to make sure she gets what she needs to leave.
We'll make a stop. We'll head back to the tavern where we'll try and keep you safe for the night, and then you want to leave. You don't want to go to the castle.
Right now, my head is spinning, but that seems like the more plausible option. But
Okay, let's go.
We could totally escort you there if you wanted to go there. So, if you change your mind at any point, I'd like to see it.
Will my brother be safe here? Is he?
I believe the father said he would handle any accommodations that need to be made.
To say any final goodbyes before we go?
I said all I needed to say to him when I was sitting there.
Very well. Okay, can we get your blessings or something? Anything for protection? To the father before we go.
He
Father?
approaches you again. He says, you can leave him in my care. I will make sure that he gets buried in the family crypt alongside his father. I have little blessing to give you, but you have the fullest support of all of the followers of the Morning Star. And if you traverse these lands and you ever come across someone that you think might be a follower of the Morning Lord, and you seek shelter or help, tell them the light eternal, and they will help you.
He scribbles it down really quickly into a piece of paper. Keeps it close.
I'll remember this easy.
What was it, John?
Throw me a deception check, John.
Something about forever morning. The dawn forever.
Let's go.
Father, I suppose, is there a symbol of the Morning Lord that I might take with me in memory of my father?
Yes, I can go get one from the church. And he gets one from the church, and he will give that to you after the break.
Okay, I'm going to follow him just quickly into the church, and all that broken wood, I'm going to take some of those.
Stakes.
Killing the vampires.
I want to retcon what John said. He goes, the might infernal.
The might infernal. All right.
Terrible.
You're this close to summoning a demon, John. Keep at it.
God.
He's so pretty, isn't he?
Oh, yes. Thank God we don't have him for his brains.
He's the pretty one between us all.
So you have a symbol of the Morning Lord with you, which I will give to you after the break, because I quickly look it up in the paper. And you got some like wooden paraphernalia with you, just some
stakes, shall we call them?
Large splinters.
Are they stakes? Like they're just large splinters at this point, right? Like you can craft stakes out of it, I guess. But
yeah,
You could kill vampire children.
all right. You know what? Because there's like some wooden beams around and whatnot. I will confer on you the grand total of 4 wooden stakes.
And these are holy stakes because they've been in the church.
They are made of wood that was indeed once consecrated. Whether or not that increases their quality, I will leave up to the imagination. And the next time you actually use them.
Oh my God!
Amazing.
Are you proficient in steaks?
Yes.
I love steak personally, but
I was gonna say I'd like to be proficient in steaks, burgers, all kinds of things.
oh yeah,
Martial weapons, simple weapons, bring it on.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
You're crazy.
all right. So with that, where do you want to go?
Back
Are we
to
doing a break?
Arena's home.
Yeah, we're going to
Yeah.
stop down at her place and then go to the tavern and watch over her there.
Perfect. All right. So you decide to walk back to the house of the late Burgermeister.
There are probably some really good things in here, you know? She doesn't need them anymore. She's
It's
leaving.
visible for you guys, right?
The room with the
Just
coffin in it.
Yeah, and the entrance, is that visible for you guys as well? Like where you're
Only
standing?
the room, and there's a guy standing in front of a door, and that's all I can see.
All right, let me just reveal a little bit more for you, just for fairness.
He's quite
There you go.
handsome. Oh, I was gonna do something.
That'll do for now.
I feel like that guy was modeled after Jacksepticeye, but just, throwing that out there.
He looks like the guy
What
from
kinda?
Westworld.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So you come back to the Burgomaster's mansion. I don't know if you guys are walking in this procession, by the way, but look, you have to plop them down, of course.
I feel like in general, probably despite the better tactics, Carla's probably out front, just like marching along.
As you approach the entrance, you see indeed a rather strapping gentleman standing in front of the door, and he turns around as he hears footsteps behind him. And Irina, even though she is kind of like let down a bit, she perks up and she says, "Vasily!" And she runs towards him. And he smiles back at her and he says, "I am so happy to see you. How are you?" Well, it's quite a story, Vasily. Come, she says to the three of you. Come, Vasily is a family friend of ours. I haven't seen you in forever. He travels a lot, and every once in a while he stops over, and he tells us stories of Valaki and of the other villages. He's helped out my father with quite a few issues around the village as well. He's a friend.
A capable man.
So he turns to the three of you and he says, "You extend your hand."
Pleasure.
He takes your hand and he kisses the top of it. He says, "Charmed, I'm sure."
Oh, that's what a gentleman looks like, John. Yes.
I was just about to comment.
Unfortunate.
It looks like a gentleman.
Unfortunate for the
Nice to meet you.
circumstances that you've arrived in.
Yes. What has happened? Is everything all right? How's your father? And she says, "You haven't heard, of course. He passed away, Vasily, not 3 nights ago, as well as Ismark today." And you see his face just turn grayish, almost like. What happened? Was there fighting? Was there? Should have been here? And she says, "No. Father died of. Well, we don't know what he died of, but he died in his sleep. He just grew ill. But Ismark was killed by him. And a very similar anger that you saw with Ismark, you now see with Vasily. And he says, I will get him. I will. He murdered a good man and my best friend. He thinks he can take whatever he wants just without asking and just
your voice. Ismark died because he kept speaking quite loudly about it. Perhaps watch your words.
I'm going to look at John and I'm going to go and just signal to him that we should take a look at the perimeter and just make sure it's safe out here.
Yeah, no, we'll
both perception check. Give me a perception check, both of you.
Okay.
God damn it.
Crit!
Whoa, my natural 1.
Crit!
You got a 20!
Balance of the universe!
That's hard. That hurts real bad.
All right, so not only is that just cool because crit and a natural one, but it's also funny because you guys are, midnight full
Always in
moon. That is
competition.
just that is cool. All right, love that. Just wanted to point that out. All right, so Casariel, you can't help but you wanted to have a look around, and you signaled that to John, and then you look back at Vasily, and I mean he is really handsome. So you didn't see anything.
Oh, he's dreamy.
And John essentially says, "Thinks I'm not a gentleman. I'm sure a gentleman." And he's like looking around at this point.
John, you don't notice anything per se, but you have this profound sense of dread on you. Like you are being watched, even though you have no reason to say that you are being watched.
He's gonna try to signal to Carla and look at Casariel, who was already looking at him, and say, "Something's not right. There's something, I can't quite explain it, but something is near." Would it?
Irina hears that. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say I was gonna open up Divine Sense, but actually, if Irina reacted, he's gonna look to her.
Yeah, Irina will hear that of you, and she says, "We should probably just continue this conversation inside. Please come in." And she walks to the door and opens it. And Vasily follows her. As you're all in,
Says I'm not a gentleman. I'll show her. Oh God, something's out here.
Also, that coffin that is there, by the way, isn't
not there.
But can't remove it.
He stands on the impression of what once was a coffin.
Yes, there's this damp body odor of one's dead. It's very yes. But hey, you chose to stand there. Irina looks at Vasily and she says, "They are right. You can't take him on. No one can. My brother, you know how your best friend. You know how strong he is. Vasily, he lifted him off the ground by his neck and he just broke it. Like that." Okay, so Vasily says, "So what? We're just going to sit here? What do we do now?"
No. We're going to prepare for a journey.
What?
The father
We're
of the
taking him to
church
safety.
said there was an abbey to the west, I believe.
The Abbey of Sin Markovia.
I presume said that she may find safety there, and Irina is going to take some time to think about what she wants to do. I believe is what you said.
Yes, I need a moment but perhaps it's best. Vasily says, I understand your merits, but don't get me wrong. The idea is good. She has to go. I agree. And if anything, the Abbey is not a bad shot. It's a holy place. Right? That gives a bit of leeway. What was
He
that?
can't enter them, can he?
It's not going to be easy for him.
I get as
He's
much.
He is dangerous, Carla. But the Abbey is dangerous too in its own right.
You see, she kind of briefly swoons at being hearing her name, and then kind of rights herself again. Oh yes.
Dangerous how?
If I may say so, Miss, and he looks at you,
Sorry.
Miss Casariel, I've traveled quite a bit within these lands, granted, but I've seen my share, my fair share of travelers and adventurers. I pride myself on having a bit of an eye on what certain people have a profession based on what they look like. I notice you have some holy symbols on you. If I'm not mistaken, you are someone that follows the ways of faith as well. Am I right?
Indeed, I am.
And
I'm
you-
a priestess of Saloon.
Then you probably know the practical application of your faith in more ways than just to soothe people.
Do I know? She stops being a smartass for a second, realizing that there's a bunch. Yes, indeed, I do.
That is my point. The Abbey can be dangerous, in a good way.
Oh, right.
I have one
like
issue,
them.
though. I like the idea, and if I may put my own 2 cents forward.
Go for it.
2 copper.
2 copper, good point. There's no sense in Barovia.
This place has no sense.
It
Nothing makes sense
doesn't
here.
make sense. So we're going to talk about copper.
Nonsense.
Yes.
Oh, she's joining us.
We're slowly converting her. By the way, if you don't know what this is about, like dad jokes and whatnot, long story.
I'm trapped here. Free
Stick
me,
around.
free me, free me. I'm blinking 3 times. Anyways,
3 times
Yeah.
means she's fine.
these are my
RNG.
squad.
Oh boy.
Okay, go on.
I like the idea, and I like the location. I think of all the places in Barovia, this would be one of the safest places you can bring her. But have you taken a good look around you about how many people have you met in Barovia so far?
Not in the house, but I do think we should look very carefully in this house because there's probably something here that can help us along the way, don't you think?
So, with due respect, the people of Barovia have a certain look about them.
Do we count the...
The land
Never mind.
The land itself is dreary and drab and sad. And so are the people. The people that have lived here for so long that all their life, all the color of life has just left them. Have you not noticed? The people that live here are monotone, sad.
I mean, we met some ladies at the tavern who were very colorful, I think.
Oh, they were
Oh.
delightful.
The three women sitting there?
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, those are the owners. That's Vistani. That's a different story.
Yeah, where we're from, we don't really comment on people's looks like that, so that's why we haven't really said anything, but we do notice. Yes.
So, there's no easy way for me to put this, but you stick out like a sore thumb. I'm not going to say that you won't last 5 minutes out there because I don't know what you guys are capable of, but you can imagine that if you guys are going to be traveling all the way to the Abbey, which is quite a long way.
On any other
Arena.
day, I'd be very capable, but today I agree with you.
I'm not going to say we won't last 5 minutes, but you stick out. And if Strahd doesn't find you, someone else will. And then Strahd will. You want to move under the cover of the land, not of darkness, of the land. You guys stand out.
Speak plainly. What do you recommend? We
Irina?
should muck ourselves up a bit. Spread some
Well,
dirt
you
on
could try. You could try and hope that nobody finds out that you guys are adventurous. Or, Irina, I live here. You live here. We're Barovians. We don't stick out as much as they do. What I propose is a split up. I take Irina to Valaki, not to the Abbey. That's too far away. We should do this phased. I will bring her to Valaki. I can get there probably within 2 or 3 days. We'll meet up in Valaki. We'll reconvene. We consider our options, and if everything seems to be clear, we'll do the same thing towards Kresk, to the Abbey. We'll meet each other over there again, and then we'll discuss what we'll do there. This way, she won't be noticed, and if there's anything going wrong, the eyes are probably pointed at you. I'm sorry, you'll be the bait, but at least Irina won't be with you.
Kind of used to being that at this point. I think we can take that.
It's not a bad idea.
From a tactical standpoint, I mean, if we can take some of the
Eyes
fire
away.
off of them, yeah. I Makes sense. And I imagine that we could handle it better than these two. No offense. He says that openly right in front of him.
Do you trust him?
Wait. The plan is that you'll take Irina
Yes.
to, what was it, Veloki?
Valaki. It's the next village over. It's a village. But it's about 2 days worth of
I really
travel.
want to protect her for the next few days. You sure you can handle that, or?
Oh yes.
Is there a pool
Yes,
there?
we get a pool?
Right. We're looking for a pool, right?
For Madame Eva, we've been instructed to go meet her.
Do they have a water slide? That's where my brain went. Like,
I need floaties. I can't actually swim.
He knows they're going to a pool, and
right.
Vistani Aqualand, yes.
actually, Vistani Bay. Thank you very much, Vistani Bay. Yeah.
Vistaqualand. There we go.
We got there though.
Oh,
Here we are.
Aqua Vista.
Aquavistani. Holy shit. There we go. All right. T-shirt.
Oh God.
Aquavistani.
Anyway,
Where all the magic happens.
You'll never want to leave.
Nor can you.
Okay, go on. Come on, we have to get through this plot.
No, you're contributing to this. I'm just pointing
I
that out.
know.
No.
is there? We're looking for some kind of pool where Madame Eva is. Is it
Madame
there?
Eva's camp, yes.
Yes.
It's along the route, yes. If you move... There's only one big road in Barovia. Irina, don't we have a map or something? Like, do you have a map around here? Did your father keep something? And Irina says, yes. Yes, one moment. And she walks away towards that side of the house for a moment. And Vasily continues. He says, if you move along the Svalich Road, at some point you will meet a crossroads. You take that crossroad to the north. It is the branch off of the main road, but it will reconvene with the road again as well. If you follow that road, it will lead you to the pool where the Vistanis usually camp out. You can't miss it. It's other than the split, it's a straight shot. You can't miss it. If you then reconvene with the road, you'll pass an old windmill. And then beyond that, you will get to Valaki. It's not too far. And we can reconvene over there. You can visit Madame Eva, and then we'll meet up over there.
Great.
We can take the longer route, and you guys go via the pool. It's an actual split up. It's a perfect plan.
Sure.
Well,
Of course.
yeah, perfect under the circumstances.
Now, we intend to make sure that Irina gets there safely, but our goal at this point, we're attempting to talk to Madame Eva. We were led in that direction. We have someone we'd very much like to talk to about some missing items. But once we've seen Irina safely, and once we've had that chat, I believe we're going to go home. This place is not.
Once she's
Not right.
safely delivered to the Abbey, your services would be welcome, but no longer needed. The Abbey, I am sure, can take care of her. She will be safe there.
That's good.
It is not exactly the life that I would have envisioned for her. She's not a person to live the rest of her life in the Abbey, but at least she's safe over there. And from there, we can plot our next moves. So I wouldn't ask any more of you than that.
Well, what should we take from here? Because this looks like a place that probably has at least a sword, if not some great armor or gems.
I love how it just jumps straight to Jim.
She's
As you're talking about gems and whatnot, she reappears from like the other side of the house, and she's like, "What was that?"
Irina,
we're looking for resources.
if we're leaving this place, if you mentioned that you'd want to look into what you're taking, it would be best to, use whatever equipment that you have here. Guard yourself well, and if you have anything that could help us to help you along the path, if we could borrow it for a while.
big sword.
My father wasn't a fighter. My father wasn't a military man. You can look around if you can find a weapon, and if you find anything, we have kitchen knives. If you want to take that, that's fine. Like this house, I'll abandon it if we're going. You can look around for whatever you want to take with you, and it's yours. Like I don't care for the material things. Also, I did find a map for you if you were interested.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
And she will indeed show you the map. It is a hand-drawn map, and it isn't all too detailed, but it gives you some insight as to where you are right now and where you're going towards.
Oh, there it is. Cool.
And I will also give you this map in Discord, of course. So,
is there any?
you can
There's
close it
no.
on your own volition, by the way.
Is there any way for me to zoom out or zoom in? Because unfortunately, with the cropping, I can only see a part of it on the.
Oh,
I mean, I can see a pretty big part of it. It's a pretty big part of it. I'm just missing on the right. Barovia.
No, it's always it's always full screen, so I can't really.
Okay, no worries, no worries.
In the lower right corner, there is a little arrow that you can resize it though, if you want.
Okay, no problem. So, for those of you watching, there is a small town called Barovia to the right of where my mouse is at the bottom right, to the right of this lake, and at the top is just the cross, the north, east, west Z. So everything else you should be able to see.
You notice that the path from Barovia just trails over a river and then indeed has a little fork, and that fork leads along a big pool of water.
Okay.
Vasily will also look at that map and point and say, yeah, that's the pool. That's where the Vistani usually camp.
Perfect.
And from there, it gets back to the road, and it goes towards Lake Zarovich, is where Valaki is. That is where I want to reconvene.
All right.
Well,
Yes, Elena, if you have anything we could use for healing supplies or anything for, if you have any rope, I've heard that rope is a very good navigational tool. That's brilliant. I never thought of that.
That is an interesting idea. Sure. There. My house is yours. Go ahead and look around, and whatever you find is yours. I don't care about material things. Please go ahead.
and property. Delightful.
I thought you'd like that. I give her a little smirk.
If a wind
That should open up the entire house for you guys, by the way. So
Yep.
feel free to walk around if you want to.
All right, John's gonna stay in here with Arena and what was his name? Vasily.
Vasily.
He's gonna stay there just because he still has that back of his mind sense of something was watching them, and he's gonna assume Carla and Casario will find whatever they need.
Okay, you go upstairs and I'll deal with down here. Yeah?
As a matter of fact, by the way, let's do that proper. Vasily approaches you, John, and he says, "I don't believe I called your name."
Name's John Varenthal. I'm here with my partner Casario, my squad mate Casario, looking after this little one, Carla.
He extends a hand to you and he says, "Vasily von Holtz."
Nice firm handshake you got there. It's good to meet you,
So
sir.
do you. And you.
So, you upstairs and I'll do down here.
Way ahead of you. Good luck.
Ah. Good luck.
The upstairs area seems to be very run down and might not be accessible by you.
That little minx, she knew that, didn't she?
You go upstairs. I'll stay down here.
Yeah.
Find all the good loot.
Typical Carla.
Not really an upstairs map.
As
Right. Got it. God, it's
As
dusty up there.
Casario-
There's not going to be anything up there that I want. Nope.
as Casario's coming back down the stairs, John looks like and goes, "That was fast. What happened up there?"
Pretty dusty. You know?
Allergies. I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Woo. Yeah. Yep.
So,
Well, I guess we have to rely on Carla. Good thing she's good at investigation. Meanwhile...
Meanwhile, at the
hearing like her voice, I'm gonna pop back out and I'm like, nothing up there.
You little minx. I'm on to you.
Come on, help me. Have a more area altogether.
I just like I'm excited, but then like when I walk by Irina and Vicini, is that right? Is it Vicini? Because I keep thinking Princess Bride. Unbelievable.
Vasily von Holtz.
Vasily. I just like pretend like I'm sad. Oh,
Vaseline without the een.
He gives you a warm smile, Casero, and he says, "Perhaps there is something down here for you."
You should see.
Perhaps.
And I'm just gonna excitedly like follow up to Carla.
He is.
Oh, the loot.
I mean.
Is there anything in particular that you're looking for?
Okay. So, start off with... Okay.
That sounded like a shopping list. I'm not happy with that.
No. Like, I'm not looking for specific things. What I'm going to say is, like, to make this very, very easy,
Yes.
Kala is going to sort of, like, dart around and sort of look in corners, look in drawers, kind of scurry around and try to reach what she can to see if she can find weapons, interesting items, or if she reaches any bit of paper, she will be reading it until she finds something interesting. Basically, she wants, like, loot and also information. That's what she's going to be looking for. And just before she does, she plays a little jaunty tune on that piano because she's proficient in piano.
And the piano is slightly off key, but it still sounds pretty good under your hands, amazingly enough.
I only know funeral songs, by the way, so it's fitting.
So it's a good funeral song, you know. Dun, 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 dun.
Carla,
Yeah,
now's
but
not the time.
Off key, but on key. Like it's good. It's good.
It's good. Yeah, so that's what she's going to do. So anything where, like, there's a drawer to open, there's a cupboard to open, there's something to look under, she's going to start doing that. So that'll just cover the basic investigation of, she'll do this room, and she'll point at Casariel to go back here and do that.
All right. For both of you, let's just cover that under 2 rolls because one roll is a little meh. So both of you just do 2 rolls of investigation, and we'll see what comes out of that, and I'll scrounge something together for you.
I got a natural 20 plus 6.
You got a natural 20. Holy fuck! Okay, so all the drawers are open. Cool.
You found tents, rope, a bunch of canteens of endless water.
A giraffe and
A
100
bags of
gold.
holding.
bag of holding, yeah.
A couple of them, like 4.
No, he's going to make me work for that bag of holding. Don't you worry.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it when I can take the most bullshit things into it. I got talk to the dead. Just you wait.
There we go.
Inconceivable. Sorry, I had to.
When the DM doesn't realize how much you're going to loot everything in the game, but then he realizes it.
I mean, I'm luckily
Funeral.
I'm semi prepared for this.
Yes. Father, would it be okay if we dig up some of these bodies and see if they were buried
Did your
with
brother
anything?
just die? Sorry. Could we have your place in silverware?
Oh lord.
Could be worth something.
I got my list that'll do a bunch of rolls on to see what all you gathered, but also looking at the time, it is also break time, so that is such a convenient
Good
moment.
time.
So let's take our break while I just crunch some numbers and see what you guys turned up with.
Amazing.
That was a good break, and I actually was able to scrounge some numbers. So I got a list for you guys that you guys managed to get from the mansion.
Yeah.
Before the
But
break.
yes, before we get to that,
Well, before the break, what were we up to? Sorry, I can say it.
so yeah, no, go ahead.
Okay. So before the break, what happened was we attended a funeral, got a little bit messy, had an unexpected visitor who ended one of our newest allies. As we head back to the mansion, we are now looking for supplies on the possibility of undertaking a journey towards. Can you help me on the name? Keshik? We're not going to Kashik. Kresk. With Elena and her friend Vasily.
Vaseline.
Elena and Vaseline. All right, so Irina and Vasily. Yes,
That's the one. Those are the ones. Yes. So Carla and Casariel have exited out into the mansion proper to find themselves supplies amongst the rubble.
And just for verification, John, if you run into someone who is also aligned with the Morning Star, what should you say to them?
Infernal might. Or something to that effect.
You guys are so doomed. All right. So
Knight Eternal.
So, we had some interesting throws while you guys were scouring the mansion. Irina said that you could just look around the mansion proper, and whatever you find that could be potentially useful to you, you could take with you. So you've looked around, and you found indeed quite a bunch of items that I imagine you brought back to the group of John, Vasily, and Irina to show. So, what have you found? Well, you found a couple of mundane items and a couple of not so mundane items. Because the dice giveth and the dice taketh away. This time, the dice definitely giveth. So, what did you find? You found 50 feet of hempen rope. So, if you needed some rope, there you go. You got 50 feet. You found 29 gold and 70 silver that you can take with you.
Ooh, I'm going to take that gold. Yeah. Is it okay if I keep the money on me?
Sure.
Sure. Okay.
Why would I need money?
29 gold and
70 silver.
Ooh. Okay.
Carla, you found in the study, you found an old, worn short sword. It looks like it's in serviceable order. It's a little rusty on the hilt, but otherwise it is definitely a good weapon. It'll count as a normal short sword.
Do you want this one? I say to Casariel.
Hand
it over.
I'll take a look at it. Look at the balance.
You find a complete assortment of household items that might serve your needs in one way or another. I.e., if you guys really need a wooden spoon, this is the time to speak up, and I will grant it. It's just whatever you would usually find in a house, you can take it with you. In terms of food, the larder was still pretty stocked. You will find 10 rations worth of adequate food. Mm-hmm. So you'll be able to make 10 rations worth of it. That is the normal stuff that you found. Mm-hmm. Amongst the items that you've scoured are also a couple of magical items. You will have found, first and foremost, an interesting ring with, at the top of that ring, a little engraving that looks like a little ear. This is called the eavesdropper ring. And the eavesdropper ring, as long as it's on the same plane as the person that is wearing it, the bearer can hear through this item as if it were present.
Ooh.
Wait.
That's cool.
To bear it, do they have to wear it?
No.
Oh, okay.
As long as it's on the same plane.
Anywhere on the plane, you can just hear a conversation?
Anywhere on the plane.
I'm absolutely taking that.
God damn it, Carla.
What does it mean to bear it?
To wear it. Oh, the bear is just like the one that is attuned to it, because it is an attunable item. Do keep that in mind.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yes.
I thought ring on, Carla? Huh?
I thought you were saying if you were wearing it, you could hear through it. So I'm just imagining her like putting her hand up to a window and like listening.
No, it's like it's another ear basically.
Okay.
You just have an ear attached to your hand, and if you just put that ear on the table, you will still be able to hear from that position. It's kind of cool.
That's funny.
That's handy. I'm not going to tune to it, but I'm going to take it into my.
Sure. They aren't like this item isn't yet in the listing, so I'll have to make it as a homebrew item. I just thought of this, but I will add it to the list for the next time.
That seems like a very annoying item. I imagine it would bug whoever you used it on. You want to bug someone?
It's a bug ear, a bug ring. Yes. You've also found a couple of gloves, a couple of gauntlets, if you will. And these are called the Drunkard's Gauntlets. They have like little pictures of beer on them. When attuned to these gloves, the bearer always knows the direction of the closest alcoholic beverage.
Pass them over to Casariel.
Really?
Thank you.
Yeah.
And here I was thinking that Anne is Irish.
Carl is not. Carl is one of the Brits.
Oh, that's true.
Colonizer.
If it had a thing of tea on it, it might have been something.
No, she doesn't need gloves for that. That's the whole point. She's already got that in there because she's Irish. So the gloves are superfluous.
Built in.
I'm Irish as well, right? Thank you. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, obviously.
Top of the morning to you, laddies.
Lovely working with all of you as per usual. So I will be saying goodbye permanently, guys. This is actually my goodbye video. Oh my god, terrible.
Daniel.
Did I find anything in the couch that I'm sitting on?
Well, 2 items are brought to your attention that might be of interest to you. Because for you, in this mansion, was found a very interesting key and some sort of potion. For those of you, by the way, that don't get this reference, Daniel just recently had his birthday, and we surprised him by getting a little gift package together for him with some drinks. And Marissa went all out in like decorating that and delivering that to his doorstep because they live relatively close by. And she put like a large key and a little potion for decoration in that little chest. And I said, okay, we're totally going to put those in game. So I'm totally shoehorning them in right now because why not? Daniel, that mystery key that you hold over there.
Very big. So a big door.
Oh, yes. Well, it's indeed called the mystery key. This key has a 5% chance, so you have to roll a natural 20. It has a 5% chance of unlocking any lock into which it's inserted, and it will always fit. Whether or not it will turn is a 5% chance. When it does, the key disappears. It's called the mystery key. It's already a homebrew item that I have, and you can totally add it.
So he's just going to assume it's a regular key, and he's going to try it on various doors, and eventually, if it works, he'll be like, "Ha! We found the key to this door. Where'd it go?"
Yeah.
Okay.
The potion that you found makes you feel very very alive, so to speak. It is a potion of vitality.
Oh.
If you drink this potion, it removes any form of exhaustion that you have, and it'll cure you of any disease or poison affecting you. For the next 24 hours after imbibing this potion, the maximum number of hit points for any hit die that you spent will be maximized.
Oh, that's awesome.
It only works 24 hours, and it is an instant clear for that.
So, as a quick note, because of the green screen, this is now actually an invisible potion. It's not an invisibility potion. It's just invisible.
I see. That is so cool.
So yeah, that's funny. I think Blade mentioned that. Yeah. By the way, yeah. Just as I mentioned, thank you again. I have some of the most amazing friends, and she drove. He makes it seem like, oh yeah, she just went around the block. No, it was like a 3-hour round trip drive. That is insane. Thank you so much. You're amazing.
You deserved it.
Absolutely precious. If I could word properly.
Impressive.
Cool.
All right. So I'll leave them open. So after the session, you can add them as well. Like I'll help you with their
awesome.
Amongst all the things that you found, there's one more item. And Irina perks up as soon as you enter with that item. She looks at it and she says, "I forgot that Father had that. He has no use for it now. You can take it. What you're holding, Carla, is a breastplate. Not just any breastplate. It looks really immaculate and well done. And John, I would imagine that you know a thing or two about armor since you've served in the army, and you would recognize one armor from the other to an extent. You would recognize this armor as being made from adamantine, which is a cut above mithril. Mithril is like the stuff of guard commanders.
That elven
captains of the guard. Dwarven.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dwarven.
Oh, my mom was a half-elf. She knows this kind of thing.
Yeah, mithril is made by the dwarves, and it's a recipe that they don't want to share with everyone else. Adamantine is even above that. It's like a cut above that. That is like fucking special. It's the stuff of kings. It is just a breastplate, so it only has an AC of 14. But it has some magical properties to it, and it's called the Breastplate of Unique Strength.
Ooh, awesome.
Yes. What the specialty of this breastplate is the fact that if you get hit critically, it negates the fact that it's a crit.
That's amazing.
Huge. That's huge.
That's huge.
Wow.
What was it? Arena, right? Arena. That's some very impressive armor there. I've seen pieces like this, and I've seen them turn what looked to be a smashing blow into a little more than a glancing hit. This is very well made. Your father might have been a good fighter, but this is not really for. He hands it over to Kazara. Goes, I doubt that would fit me.
So, does it look like it's less AC than what you have currently? Yeah, it's only 14. Kazariel.
Me? Oh yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about it for me. I was thinking about it for John because you're tanky.
It's less than what I have.
Oh,
I think this is out of character. I think this is actually equivalent, and it, as far as I know, it actually allows you to be stealthy, right? Or
it's a breastplate, so it will not negate. Like it is heavy armor considered because it's plate. But because it's a breastplate, it will not impact your stealthiness, so you won't have a disadvantage on stealth. But because it's a breastplate, it's only AC 14, right? Where a full suit would be a lot more, but it's just a breastplate.
I have a full suit of chainmail.
It's what's your AC before?
16.
Oh, yep. Oh, that is nice. Yes. Yes, beautiful. Should I try it on?
Let's see how it looks.
Take it before he says yes.
So the way that it's shaped, it kind of hides your feminine figure because it doesn't appear to be made for female, but it still fits you rather well.
Yeah, you don't need that.
I can imagine. John's like, wow, this is fantastic. I'd love to try this. Yoink.
You can have my old one, like
which
is made like with more feminine figures to it. So you can totally have that, John.
We snatched.
Beautiful.
I love it. Awesome. Oh yeah, well I have a key to a door somewhere. Arena, is this for your? Never mind. I'll just put it away.
Arena looks like all the bunch that you've just dragged into this room, and she's like, "Just take it. It's fine. Go. I don't need it."
Arena, Vasily, you're going on a journey, right? You need some rations, any supplies. This is for all of us to make this journey. What do you need? Any
Vasily?
food?
Do you have anything with you? Vasily says, I got some rations, but if we can take 2 of these, I think we should be set. I have some already. I think it's about a 2-day journey. I should have enough to cover it, but just to be sure if we went into trouble, I would have 2 rations more. We should be fine.
I toss over the 2.
All right, so you'll have 8. Mm-hmm. He said, other than that, I have some coin with me. I know the land. I'll be fine.
You know Strahd. Sorry.
Remember to watch your tone.
All too well, unfortunately.
I've heard things. Actually, it reminds me of a chant we heard in a dark place.
You said that out loud?
Yeah. He'll like they've said it a few times with the whole land and ancient. He's like, I feel like I heard that in a very dark place once.
It's a saying. Arena says it's a saying that I've heard before as well. Yes. It's. I think what they mean by that is he is the ruler of the land, and well, he's ruled it for some time. So I think they mean that figuratively, that, he is...
Oh, yes, obviously.
He owns the land, so he is the land.
I have to say, he didn't really look that old. He looks not much older than I am. Definitely older than Casario, but not that much.
Right, but you're not older than like 40, aren't you?
No, I'm. John's in his late 20s, and Casario's younger than him.
I know. I've read your character sheet.
She just giggles. She just giggles.
I haven't even turned 30. I haven't even hit my third decade yet.
So you're not older than 40.
Looks aren't everything of an indicator towards people age. I'm the oldest here, probably.
He doesn't say this like. I was gonna say, hush now. The adults are talking. He doesn't say that. He doesn't. I'm sorry.
You're lucky you haven't. I have daggers to produce them, and you are at less hit points than you usually are.
God. Oh. Okay. He just quiets down.
Irina,
Yes.
do you have any idea why he would seek you out specifically? Come back to his castle with him?
Not really. I can tell you I'm not the first. So maybe he just has a liking to women, I guess. I mean, he's a lord after all. I imagine he needs women to fill his court or something. I'm not the first. So maybe I'm just the next in a long line of available bachelorettes, I guess.
What do you mean? He seeks out women from local villages often, or?
There was this other girl in the village here, the daughter of Mary. She's a woman that lives here in town. She was recently... Well, the story goes that recently the girl decided that she wanted to spend her life at the castle. That's how the story goes. But her mother has been crying ever since, and honestly, I don't know what to think about that. How does a girl that is so young, like she was barely 18 or 19, how does a girl like that just suddenly, from one day to another, just decide to go to the castle? Like, do you understand what I'm saying?
You mean like a young girl seeks out a rich, older man to take care of her for the rest of her life?
Well, if you put it like that, it kind of sounds like it would make sense, right? Everything's better than this village. But that sounds like something that you think about. It's not a rash decision from one day to another, like, all right, I'm going to leave everything behind me.
Oh. Right, so maybe he brought her some flowers as well, you're saying?
I don't know. Maybe. It's been a little while, but, maybe he just takes a liking in women. I mean, why shouldn't he? He's a lord.
Does she still have the bouquet?
She didn't take it from him.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I kind of gesture for Xariel to come down. Xariel, are you single?
Am I? What?
Are you single?
Single?
Yeah. Any attachments?
No. I'm single, I guess.
Could use you as bait if we need to. If you're okay with that, you can handle yourself,
Fucking course. Who are we going to kill? Absolutely.
If we have to kill him, beautiful young woman.
Hard pass.
No one looks like you in the village. He'd be very interested. We could kill him.
Pretty strong. Did you see it was nothing. He weighed nothing. No, we'll have to talk about that. No, but anyone else?
Oh, if we need to talk about him, to him.
That's storekeeper.
It's a plan.
We could use half a bait. Why don't we just use half a bait? We know that he likes
Okay, we'll go.
Right.
All right, Vasily, Irina, they're over there whispering. I suppose we'll
Strategies.
come by in the morning to. You said you're going to go on your way now, or are we're meeting you at the village before there?
He turns to Irina and he says, "Do you want to leave now?" And she says, I don't know. Maybe I could rest here, but like, who knows what happens? Can I? Are we going on a horse? She says to Vasily, and Vasily nods and says, "I have my horse with me, and you can sit in front of me and just rest while we travel. I think that is for the better." What about you three? What do you do? Do you want to rest? Do you want to move? What's your plan?
We have a room booked out in the village. We'll rest for tonight, get our strengths back, and boot off in the morning.
That is
We're
fine.
kind of useless at this point without a rest.
It's also better if we leave split rather than all together.
Yeah.
We'll ride ahead, and as I said, we'll reconvene in Vallaki.
Of course.
Great.
In Vallaki, there is a large inn called the Blue Water Inn. We'll find each other there.
Of
Fantastic.
course.
All right. I guess we'll head out to the tavern and meet you at the Blue Water Inn.
Yeah, I mean, you're
farewell.
a man of the world. Anything we should, know before we go?
Of the lands, or
Like your top 3 best travel tips, advice for newcomers in the land. Like, don't eat the mushrooms or
Yes.
whatever.
We've got this book, 101 Things to Do in Barovia. If we can add anything to it. He hands the book to Carla. It's like, I don't really want to deal with this.
stay on the road, or close to the road. If you have the feeling that someone or something is approaching, choose caution over action, and always double check your senses.
How do you mean?
Not everything we see is what it is. Not everything we smell is what it is. Not everything we feel is what it is. Not everything we hear is what it is. Make sure that you know what you're seeing or smelling or hearing or feeling.
John's going to whisper to Casario, like those children. It's a very loud whisper.
Children, he says.
Have you ever met the Dursts? They live outside town.
Oh.
Ever heard of them?
Vasily actually pulls a bit of a face at the mentioning of the name Durst, and he says, "Well, I haven't met the family itself, but I know that they own the windmill near Vallaki."
Not anymore.
Yes, I heard that they used to own that windmill as well.
Well, I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's called the Durst Mill, or as they call it, the old bone grinder. It's a name that people have given to it. It's
The what?
people
Known
give-
for dying.
the old bone grinder is what they call it. It is the stone on the outside is a little whitewashed and like drab in this world, so people like to give scary names to scary things, but ultimately it's a windmill. It's still in service, actually. I believe it is currently helping out in producing flour for Irina. What are they making with it again? He says, and Irina follows up saying, "Oh, the pastries that are sold over here, like they're made with the flour made in the Durst family windmill, so it's still serviceable."
Pies, very nice.
Yes.
He's gonna lean down to Carla. Does that mean we're involved in the pie making business now?
We're going to make so much money, John. Anyways, good to know. Thank you for all your information and thank you for caring about this. I say to Sally, and to Irina, I turn to her and I say, I am so deeply sorry that everything has turned out the way it is, but I hope we can help you.
Thank you as well. I mean, you are strangers to these lands and you don't have to help, but we're glad that you are and that you see that this is as important as it is. We'll try to make this journey swift so that we can let you go on your own to find your own destiny at your earliest convenience. But thank you for doing the right thing, Vasily says.
Yes.
All right. We will gather Irina's belongings, hear what she wants to take with her, and then we'll cast off, and we'll reconvene over at the Blue Water Inn.
John's gonna hold up the symbol and sort of make this crescent symbol in the air and say, "When you go with the blessings of Saloon and the guidance of the moon," and then start walking towards the door.
Does that do anything, or is it just what you want to say?
It's just.
All right. Irina happily nods at you. Vasily stands there a little bit like Tori, but that doesn't say anything to our audience.
Very, very flabbergasted.
Yeah, kind of like, okay, thank you. But nothing more. He just stands there as you indeed make your way for the door.
Wonder if they have any pie back at the tavern. Just gonna walk
you guys
out.
Want to leave?
Yes.
Should we not stay here? I mean, we're already here. There's like a fire.
Casariel, they're leaving, right? Pies.
Also, he was targeting specifically this family. If he shows up and we're here, I don't fancy being on the other end of that hand.
Do I still feel like my hair standing on my neck when I walk out here?
You rolled a natural 20, so I will say no.
Okay, I'll take. Okay.
No, I'll give you that without a roll. Like now that you walk outside, it's still like misty and all that, but no, it's not that bad.
Yeah, the tavern's not too far away. They're leaving, I think, in the night, and we wanted to be well away from them. Something about, I think we're splitting up.
If we stick out, they don't.
Wherever that one's going to be is where the danger is. So we're safe as long as she's not with us.
I wonder if they have any more meat pies.
I also paid 7 gold for that fucking room. We're going back.
Fair enough.
Carla, who now turned Dutch.
Oh, yeah.
All right. As you move back towards the village, which is not far away, because this mansion is basically just on the literal outskirt of the village, like brushing the side of the village. As you move back, highest passive perception was with both Carla and Casario, right? Like you both have 13.
Yeah, it's my insight that's good. What kind of good? 15. Perception's just 13.
No, it's still a perception thing for now. It is just after midnight. Carla, Casario, as you move towards the tavern, you notice from the direction of the church a green glow. Like, it's actually pretty noticeable. Like, someone just lit a green torch, at the church.
Good thing we're not going that way. Am I right?
They certainly have odd practices here. Their religion is odd.
You want to continue on to the tavern?
Probably nothing, right?
Carla, do you know of any flames that burn green?
They're the magic kind.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we could go in the morning on our way out. Yes. What if it's a huge monster? We're not full strength.
If there's something dangerous over there, as much as I want to make sure everyone's safe, I don't think I'd be much help in anything right now.
Be about like usual, really. I mean,
You
Look
just
in the
gonna-
morning.
I'm gonna elbow him.
Yeah.
In it
He's
is
just
then.
gonna roll his eyes. Yep. In it
So
is.
we agreed to go back to the tavern, but Carla lingers just a little second longer before going back.
All right. Let me just move you over here.
Oh, good lord. There we go.
We totally left you over at the bar, and like
course.
you aren't there yet.
Oh wait, who took the gloves of knowing where the next drink is?
I give them to you.
I feel like that's
Did-
all you.
Oh god, I really
They
made
are.
out.
You also need to attune to them though to be able to use them.
Oh,
Can we sell those?
We good.
how dare you?
I need to know where my next drink is. It's that way.
All right, there you go. So you are now in the middle of town. Where do you want to go?
Straight shot to the tavern,
To bed.
food and drink, and then sleep.
Yes.
Also, I think his ghost is still there.
John, hang on.
Wait, his ghost is.
You know, Ismark.
Oh,
Spooky.
in the corner of the tavern, haunted by Ismark. Sorry.
As you approach the tavern, John, you see exiting the tavern is a elderly lady, and I think you recognize her.
She
was
brought the
one that
pies.
Yes.
They're back in stock. I love it.
She just comes outside, and as you come outside, you lock eyes with her for a second, and she looks up at you and she says, "Hello."
Hello. You're the one who brought those delicious pastries the other day, weren't you? Yesterday?
Yes. We make them over at the mill.
They are fantastic. Oh, at the mill, you say? He sort of
Yes.
looks excitedly towards Carla. Is like,
A wonderful mill. The owners were the Dursts, right? They still managing the
Yes.
place.
Yes, they own the place, but they are kind enough to let me and my daughters live over there to make pies. That's how we repay the favor. Like we don't really have any money, but we can make very good pies. It's one of the
They're
few things that so-
Delightful.
Thank you. Unfortunately, I came to tell the barman that the next delivery will be a little later because we ran into some production problems, but they should be back in stock within 2 days.
but this last delivery was on time, right?
Yes, but
Oh.
I just came by. To tell the barkeep that the last delivery was also the last delivery for now. The next one should be here in a couple of days. She says as she looks at you, John. And John, you look worse for wear, right? Like you don't look defeated, but you do look battle.
Well, now that I know there's no
That'll-
pies, I'm definitely feeling pretty disappointed.
She looks at you and she says, "Oh, dearie, are you all right?"
To be honest, I'm fine. I just need a good rest. You know, nothing a good night's sleep won't handle.
Right. I don't, unfortunately, have any pies with me at the moment, but you look like you've been through something. If you ever find yourself in the vicinity of the windmill, feel free to stop by, and we'll give you a pie free of charge. Like you look like you've been through much. I can't spare much, but I can spare that.
I'll take you up on that. Thank you very much. I think we might be visiting soon.
Wonderful.
The production issues you've run into, is there anything we can help with? Like, is the beast hovering over wheat mills, that kind of thing?
Do you need stronger
Oh, no,
ownership
is it-
of the mine?
No,
No.
we just had a delivery issue, but it's been since resolved. So we'll resume production immediately. We just had a little issue.
No problem. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Please, you were going in here.
Mm-hmm.
She scoots aside. She says, "Please go ahead. Don't let me bother you no longer. Lovely to meet you, and we'll see you over at the."
Excuse me, ma'am. I didn't catch your name. I'm John.
Oh, my name is Morgantha.
Morgantha. Very nice to meet you, Morgantha. Your pies are delicious.
Well, thank you. It's the little spark of joy that we can bring these poor people in these dreary times. People seem to love them, and we love making them for them.
Good night, Morgantha. You have a pleasant trip.
Thank you. You too. And you see her scurry off into the street over here.
Out of character, she's definitely baking people into those pies, right?
Sorry?
Or using bones as a flour.
One must die.
Those pies were delicious. He just walks into the bar.
In character, she has no clue, but like, oh my god, that's so creepy.
Hello, Arik. How are you this evening?
Good.
Arik. Really? Just good. Come on. What was the last thing that happened to you that was like really exciting? You ever been in love?
I had love. No.
Oh.
I remember when I got my new skirt to wear behind the bar, which was not too long ago. That was a happy occasion.
Lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Arik, do you have any food?
Got vegetable soup. Pies are out. You ate them.
I feel a bit bad about that. Any bread with butter?
Vegetable soup.
it's like wine.
I'm going to look over at the... Sorry, go ahead. Actually got you.
I got a lot of wine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to look over at the women sitting there. What are they eating? Or is it easily noticeable?
They're not eating anything. They're just having wine.
Is anyone else eating? He's looking around to see if anyone else got pies, and this guy's bullshitting him.
Oh, also, the ghost of Ismark seems to still be here. Oh, he isn't. I totally forgot to take it. Sorry. I totally forgot to take that one out. Everyone here seems to just be sitting with a glass of wine.
Did we get any dried meat or cheeses in the ration? I'm gonna go ahead and burn a ration and eat that instead. Screw vegetables.
The ration itself is adequate food, so that is like it's some vegetable, it's some. Actually, your rations will probably contain some bread. Like it's adequate rations from a mansion, so it's good enough. It's not amazing, but it's good enough.
Vegetable soup, no pies. He's gonna grumble and go back over to the room and eat a ration there.
Yeah, go eat some bread.
Carla, you wanted the wine, by the way?
Yeah, I grabbed a wine, threw down the coppers that are needed for it.
It's 2 copper.
Yeah. And then I'm going to quickly scurry off into the room. And as she kind of gets in there, she starts immediately sort of writing, pulling out scraps of paper. And you notice along this wall, she starts sort of like pinning things up with like little pins that she has and all that kind of stuff, just spreading out the information. No interest.
Please tell me, is that why you needed a rope? Like to just make that little connection between the notes?
Oh, she does start, she like cuts like about like, because it's a 50 meter rope. She cuts about like 50 foot, there we go. She cuts about like a couple of centimeters off it and starts like unraveling the twine so that she can start doing that. She like tries to piece together everything that's kind of coming together. There's like pies written on one piece of paper. There's the windmill. There's the different names that she's encountered.
Pie, question mark.
What is with those pies? How are they so good? What recipe is she using? Could we possibly take over the business and possibly take over Barovia? And if we get in there with capitalism, could we usurp the Lord? That's the question.
Yeah, John over the corner. If we
solve the quest of Barovia through capitalism, that's just beautiful.
if we own the mill, do we get free pies?
Yeah, so that's what she's currently doing. She's trying to piece together all this information, really take it in and figure out what the fuck's happening here. So that's what she's doing for the night. What are the rest of you doing? And then she'll take her rest.
Nod as I pass these three women, and kind of
I'll nod back at you.
Have they moved since the last time?
They moved around, but they're still sitting at the same table.
All right.
So it's like, you know, I mean, the icons are the same, but like they've probably like moved it like a little bit, but yeah, no, still same table. Apparently, that's their table.
All right. Well, long day tomorrow. Should we get some sleep?
Yes.
John's sitting in the corner grumbling about pies. Crust is delicious.
John, the people here they're going hungry, so you know it's fine to talk about pies and
we need to up production.
Right. Well, agreed. Totally. Yeah.
When I go to look for the deed to the windmill, do we still have it?
Yes, and now, this is the first time that you ask about it since you have left the death house. The paper itself that you found seems weathered, like it's 200, 300 years old parchment all of a sudden. Not as you touch it, it just looks like old parchment you've picked up. Definitely different than when you took it with you, when it looked like a relatively clean contract. Now it looks like an old contract that's been lying around in someone's bookcase for 300 years. It's still readable though, and it totally looks like a good contract. It's just very weathered.
Oh, so it's been there. Wild, there's illusions every... My goodness, and I pin up the deed next to like the windmill pie situation. Yeah, I just... What do you make of it? Who is he?
If she ever gets a bag of holding, the inside is definitely going to have a whiteboard with a bunch of things pinned up.
Basically. Basically. Miniature little like room where she's just kind of got like things strapped on.
I'll be off to my study, and she jumps into the bag. Oh god. Okay.
It is ill-advised to jump into a bag of holding, but that doesn't say that you can't.
Okay. Just before we go to bed, Cal is going to look at them and say, like, what do you make of it? What's your theories? I can't get a read.
Of what? This place?
I don't know how it all fits together. There's connections, there's links, but there's stuff missing, like, how old actually is this place? And I point at the deed. How long has he been the Lord here? He looks so young. How could he do that with... Why is there creatures like the one we found in the basement? What spell is big enough to hold people here? Whole villages, whole areas, people.
Cursed house, like cursed castle, creepy lord. It's just a place with a lot of bad luck.
So, our goddess, Silion, she had a sister. Kind of a long story. But basically, the sister, eventually created her own realm, another plane of existence. Right. Mm. And she ruled that plane of existence. I think this is his plane of existence. Or at least one everyone here is trapped on. Because, John, the mists, you realize, can't leave. Yeah.
Anyone can walk through mists. I mean, the man said that he tied himself to a tree and went walking off into the forest. Of course he's not going to get anywhere. He's tied to a tree. There's no such thing. This place is just—it's very dreary. I'll grant you that. But can't leave.
No one likes a skeptic, darling.
The moon is shining. There's wolves in the forest. Yes, of course. It's probably very dangerous to go out into the forest, but there's a road that leads back to where we came from.
We should just find out as much as we can.
I'm not saying that it's impossible. I'm just saying that several people told us that we can't go anywhere. That if I said you can't open that door, are you just going to believe me?
How long ago did your mother get out of here?
Well,
Did she go missing?
I was conceived here. But I was born in Neverwinter. So I'm 20. 20 years ago.
And she only disappeared within the recent years.
I was 16 when she disappeared again.
She got 16 years outside. Before anything came back, or she went back. So there is a ways out of here.
It is perhaps the biggest mystery of all. I'm afraid to ask questions of people because I don't want to raise suspicion. I don't know how. Her diary is so vague. It's not written like a novel. It's written like notes of a person who lived the experiences, just reminding themselves of what happened. So it's incomplete.
I understand.
But she did not seem to think, at least from what she'd written, that this Strahd person was terribly evil or awful.
Does she speak highly or just neutral?
I think he was very kind to her.
Oh.
Perhaps in the way he's kind to Irina. I don't know.
Oh. More worrying.
I mean, I don't know if, as far as I've seen of him, if that was him, he doesn't seem evil. Very rude, bashing into a funeral, but he did kill a young man, but the man rushed him. I don't like his methods, but I can't fault him for. As far as I've seen, I've seen nothing but rudeness and discomfort.
Quite a mixed opinion so far of him.
Yes.
It's possible that he has something to do with the pastor's son, which I will have some questions for him if we ever see him again, but I can't.
Yeah, the people rose. What was it? The people rose up.
Yes.
And
they went to
this castle.
And none returned but his son, and his son came back different. Which, again, like you said, John, if people came at him and he defended himself, is that truly an evil action or just one of survival? But if people rose up, then I don't know.
I'm not certain what he did in response, but whatever had a hand in creating that monstrosity that we fought in the Undercroft, whatever that was, that is evil. And I'll stop it if I can.
But didn't you say he had nothing to do with that? I mean,
well, no,
a letter, but didn't the letter say that he wanted nothing to do with the dust?
Yes, the evil practices.
Yes, could you read that again, Carla?
Of course. And I root around in my bag until I pull out and I say, "So dust, I'm looking forward..." Oh no, this is wrong. This is the wrong one. Never mind. I thought I had the letter. I don't have the letter anymore. In my inventory. It was the one that Strahd's. Yeah.
From the death house.
Yeah.
My most I have it written down. My most pathetic servant.
That's the one. Let me quickly see if I can get that from my notes.
I do take really detailed notes. Not that I can ever find anything, because I take so many.
I know where it is, but I quickly need to find it. One moment.
Got it.
Condemned his actions.
I mean, if we
I'm
can...
not the Messiah. Dark forces did not bring me here. Sired. Stillborn child. How many people have you bled in your altar?
Durst definitely had evil actions. Evil intentions.
Their whole house was evil, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, but there was reference to dark forces that were not him.
I got it here.
Perhaps-
Do you want me to reread it, or?
Yeah.
You need to throw it into in-game chat. We reference this like every 2 episodes.
I was gonna say, like, at some point I'll just have to. I'll just make a note out of it. I'll just read it one more time because why not? Because
Pestering the DM always leads to good things.
My most pathetic servant, I am not a messiah sent to you by the dark powers of this land. I have not come to lead you on a path to immortality. However many souls you have bled on your hidden altar, however many visitors you have tortured in your dungeon, know that you are not the ones who brought me into this beautiful land. You are but worms writhing in my earth. You say you are cursed, your fortune spent. You abandoned love for madness, took solace in the bosom of another woman, then sired a stillborn son. Cursed by darkness, of that I have no doubt. Save you from your wretchedness? I think not. I much prefer you as you are. Your dread lord and master, Strahd von Zarovich.
So? We know that he's not excited about someone sacrificing people in his name. That's a good sign.
Yes, it is a point in his favor, I suppose. He might be like all the other people here, trapped without cause from himself.
So
Maybe he isn't the warden, but someone else is warding over him. There's this prison,
did it say you are not the ones that brought me here? Meaning the Durst family was here before he came. Brought me here? Whatever these dark powers are, I think that's something we should find out.
And as soon as we find them, we find out what they are, where they are, who they are, why they are, and hopefully stop it so that I can get home. I'm starting to kind of miss it.
We can march straight to that castle, Then we have a reason to go.
Well, we have some other things we have to get done first, and then, yes, of course, we'll
That's what I mean.
go up there and just talk to him face to face.
Right.
When we have all the information we need, we can go to the source.
He is the land. He's clearly going to know where my mother is.
That too. He's probably our best lead, unfortunately. We might need to do something to earn his favor, like the rich guy in Agaford. We had to find his ring before he was willing to do anything for us.
Right.
I'm willing to bet that if we explain to him that we're Silverstar and we were just on an away mission, we were away without leave, we're going back, he'll probably see to it that we get an entourage out of here.
Oh, he'll kill us on the spot because I'm here looking for my mother. No, really. It's a toss-up.
Yeah.
Anyway. So,
Let's face what leads we have, and if all of them turn up empty, we know the very last one is to him.
Right.
This is exactly why I never went into politics. It's just a mess.
It is. I didn't go into politics either, just unfortunately a byproduct of looking into every little annoying mystery that comes across my way. Can't leave it.
You two both think you would have a career in politics if not for your disinterest.
Oh, good lord, no.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's why I got into religion. It lets me hit things.
Right. No, that's true. It's hard for people to understand, though. It's a bit of a tricky concept. They think you're like in a temple, like, oh, what is the matter, my child? What did you do today?
Please bury my father. He died
Oh,
recently.
No, please read this strange ceremony you don't know anything about. What was that?
Deliver a eulogy for a man you just met.
Yeah, this is not your god. Doesn't he realize that'd be like completely sacrilegious? Is that a thing? We're pretending it is.
Wonder if I
I've
gave
gone
him.
to a lot of funerals undercover, but usually they don't want me to talk as much as he wanted us to. Usually they're just happy to let me play my bagpipes and go on my way.
Well, he did have a demon-ish thing in his basement. Perhaps he was trying to distract us. So.
Yeah, the awkwardness would distract most, I suppose.
Anyway.
Healing, food, sleep, warmth, a little bit of a wash. Thank God I got that soap. So grimy around
Do
here.
you guys want to turn in for the night?
Yeah.
You guys want to keep watching in any shape or form, or are you guys going to just trust that you're safe here?
You can probably hear the people chattering out there. It's probably not super peaceful, but it doesn't sound dangerous. He's just gonna lay down in the chair with his weapon across his lap.
Like the other night, I'm going to push the dresser against the door so that if anyone has to come in, it's met with some resistance.
All right, I'll call that being locked. Perfectly fine. There you go. It is locked. All right. So all three of you can make a long rest. So
Yes.
Nothing special happens here.
I get more than half of my
apply
hit
your
points
long rest.
back.
Yeah, because that effect that you had from the battle with Doru is now negated, so you are back up top. That should
Even if I was
breathing room.
Even if I was max health, I would have effectively been bloodied no matter what.
Yes, they are nasty.
Okay, good.
Ooh, the spell slot's a level 3. It's tough. It's a toughie.
Oh yes.
Are we there yet? Come on, are we level 4 yet?
Nope.
Ah,
All right.
horrid.
Nope. You're getting there though, but nope.
Whoever gets up first, you're gonna see John sitting in the chair, his eyes partially open, just staring down at the maul in his lap.
Yes.
At the weapon he's holding. Just slowly spinning it.
Who wakes up first?
You guys applied your long rest?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, cool. So you sleep for a full 8 hours and you wake up the next morning on a dreary, cloudy morning, but a morning nonetheless. The night has passed. Before you get out of bed, though, I would like all three of you to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
I'm amazing at these.
Oh, it's gone.
Okay. 15.
19.
13.
All right. Cassariel and Carla, you two, you feel peckish, but other than that, nothing more. John,
I feel
it
full.
feels, yeah, you feel full. No, I mean, like, I had to say something, right? So you feel peckish because it's morning. But, John,
Yes.
waking up, it feels like you've had your night's rest, but something has plagued you during the night. And you can't really put your finger on it, but you have a certain feeling of... I can't describe it any other way than you feel hollow inside. You feel empty. You are missing something. in your life. And because of that, you have disadvantage on all your skill checks.
So John basically stayed up the whole night staring at this thing and just shifting it from face to face, looking at it. And as a result, he doesn't feel like he got enough sleep. And he does feel like something is drawing him further, spreading him thin.
Just for my verification, Carla, sorry, what did you throw again?
15.
17. I mean, 19, sorry. Natural
19.
17 plus 2. 19.
Okay, so sorry, you're fine. 50. Yeah, Carla, you're yeah. Like, it's probably just the fact that you're here. But you're fine, Carla.
Well, does everyone feel all right? Everyone ready to head off?
Let's go.
He's gonna stand up and sort of shake himself. Yep, let's get off.
I take down my insanity ward and pack it all back away in my pockets.
Outside of character, we need like a meme of that crazy guy holding up his hands to the insanity board, but with Carla's face. Has to be a thing.
It's just what she is.
Yep, I'll make that.
Do you see the connections? All right.
I've connected the 2 dots. You didn't connect shit.
The windmill
I've
is the
connected
pure evil in this land. You know?
It has to be the windmill. It has to be. Oh god, we need a Don Quixote now. Oh god.
Yep. All right. Anything you guys want to do here, or do you guys want to leave?
I want to see if they have pie. I don't think they do, but we have to check.
I know John's staring at that
Are
weapon
you guys
again,
ready up?
but I'm not going to say anything.
All right.
I don't know
Ark
if this is
still,
unusual.
like behind the bar, so he's just cleaning glasses.
Eric. Morning.
Hello.
Eric. Come on, we're here for a week. Aren't you excited to see us? Surely you can muster a bit more excitement than that. Come on.
I am so glad to have you as my patrons. What can I get for you?
It's better. It's better. I think we're heading out. You need anything, you all?
Do you have any anything other than
wine.
vegetable soup?
I got wine.
Do you have any bread? Any hardtack?
Can get you raw carrots.
I'll have a
I
bowl of
use
vegetable soup.
Okay. That's 5 copper.
Throw it on the tavern. He's sort of like he's holding his temple and rubbing it. Just
Hey, buddy, don't despair. There's some animals out there. We'll cook them up and make you something really delicious. Don't worry.
that sounds good.
Yeah.
I can't cook, can you?
Me?
I feel ridiculous. No. Mm-mm.
I can cook.
Lovely job you do.
Yes.
All right then, Eric. You have a good day.
You too. Don't die.
Oh. Huh?
He's
You're
improving.
going to fall in love with us. I can feel it. Yep.
John basically just drinks the vegetable soup with one hand. He's like not really feeling up to it this morning. By the way,
Okay.
as a side note, they labeled the potion hangover potion, and I can exactly see why now.
All right,
I
so
was
you guys are
my
gonna
house
head out.
down. little labels, but it's neither here nor there. It's fine. I used fire to burn the sides and make it really old timey looking. Anyway,
so the map points you towards the west, and if you guys want to go that way, it is amazing. If you want to go towards the west, Carla, are you keeping an eye out at the cemetery now that you're outside?
Yes, I'm kind of looking towards it to see, is the church still standing at least?
The church is still standing. That green hue is completely gone.
I definitely missed some cool fucking ghost shit last night. Okay. Oh, I'm fine. To continue.
What that is, I'm sure he'll have a great story that will only take about 45 minutes. Hell.
Good. When we get back here... Castle. Wait to see the ghost shit. I'm going to. Okay. Anyways.
Onto the road?
Onto the road.
Onto the road.
On the road again.
Loading
road again. So that is where you are right now. You should be... A lot of it should be dark, but you should be able to see where you are right now.
Mm-hmm.
You are just leaving Barovia, and per the instruction that was given to you by Vasily, if you follow the road towards the west, and then on the first fork that you will encounter, you go north. That is the direction you've been given. You have a map. What do you want to do? Also, for verification, by the way, this map works a little differently, because usually with squares, it's one square is 5 miles or something. Over here, every square is actually a mile, so it is a little bit more zoomed in. This isn't that large of a land, so you can travel a little bit farther.
Oh, delightful. Okay.
I think we're just traversing along the road, right?
Yeah, we're following the road, as they mentioned, kind of gazing at the map to make sure we're kind of going in the right direction from the village of Barovia. Carla's actually taking her quill every couple of miles and kind of marking off where she thinks they might be, kind of looking around.
All right.
Yep. And I'm trying to be very vigilant about our surroundings, and I know it's probably dark, but I have pretty good dark vision.
It is not dark because it is morning. Because you slept throughout the night. It is morning. It is just dreary. It isn't exactly misty where you are right now. It's actually pretty clear. However, overhead it is completely overcast. It's just cloudy. So it's one of those dreary mornings. But other than that, no, it's not dark. The road seems to be clear. It is only very lightly raining.
Okay.
Can we say that we took some clothes from Irina's house? He was telling us we need to be less recognizable, right? If there was a drab cloak, I would have taken that or something.
Sure. All three of you?
The two of them.
Yeah, and I'll also take some dirt and I'll smudge it on my cheeks and maybe through my hair where my hair is not quite so platinum white.
It just looks like a perfect contour and ombre.
Yeah, you know what? They've had to have a couple of nights, essentially staking out places from the woods before, so they've been in worse conditions than just having some mud on them.
Carla hasn't. She can't stand this.
Yeah, he's not going to take off his chainmail though, so he looks really bulky under his shawl that he's wearing over the back of his chainmail.
I'm just gonna over my new breastplate, give him a few little
You did decide to wear it, by the way, right, Casario?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Did your AC change? I don't think it did, right?
It didn't change, but I am now
immune to
crits. So that is.
Yes, I wanted to make sure, but indeed, that shouldn't change your AC.
No, and I also don't have disadvantage on stealth checks.
Yep, that's correct.
No.
All right, so
we offered it to you, John. Don't be jelly.
I wouldn't have
further along the road. The road turns into a very small bridge that crosses the river that you see over here. The river seems to be one of those rivers that probably originated somewhere way further away into the mountains. This looks like the water that comes from mountaintops of melting glaciers and ice and snow. It's a relatively small bridge that crosses the river here. Nothing.
Does the water look deep and fast? Like, is it something that they could cross without a bridge if they didn't have one?
If you'd have to cross this without a bridge, you probably should be able to if you're not wearing too much armor. As for depth, it's hard to say, but the water is relatively clear, and you'd assess that it's probably over here. It's probably crossable on foot, probably. But
okay, so they may or may not have to swim. Full on like swim.
If you'd have to swim this, the current would be too strong. So
Okay,
if you'd
okay.
have to walk this, you'd be fine.
I was trying.
You
Yeah.
can
Okay.
probably walk this.
Cool. How's the temperature in this area? Does it seem very cold or?
No, temperate towards the colder side. It is like the trees around you are mostly pine trees. To give you like an idea of the area, the surroundings, it is a tundra climate, but on the warmer side of a tundra climate because you're on low ground. Higher up, if you look at the mountains that you can see through the mist around you, you can see that most of them, actually all of them, are snow-capped. And they're mountains by their own right, but they're not. It's not the Himalayas, right? It's just. It's mounds that just turned mountains, and they're still snow-capped. So it is not too cold, but if you go higher up, it's probably going to get a little colder.
Okay. Now continue walking forward.
All right. Hang on. Going to pull you back.
So yeah, we were just going to continue walking until we reach.
And that's
the fort
perfectly fine.
If nothing happens.
That is
Yeah.
perfectly fine. So over here, you're walking along the road, and by now it is about midday. Over here, the three of you notice that in a little clearing towards the river, you see a grave. Very clearly, a grave. It is a mound of dirt with some stones around it to sort of decorate the sides of it. And a piece of stone at its end. It is unmarked per se, like there's no writing on it. But there is a stone there to give it a bit of like a headstone. It is very near the road, so it's very noticeable by you guys.
Like,
Unmarked.
would you say like 30, 40 feet away from the road or closer?
Oh, no, closer. It's like 10 feet away from the road.
That doesn't seem like a very private place for a grave.
No, it seems like a place a bandit would put something they wanted somebody to inspect and then what?
He's like you said bandit, so he's like, oh, that's actually a good idea. So just look around a little bit. Is there anyone hiding behind a tree nearby?
It could be a perception check.
With disadvantage. Awesome.
Yeah.
I rolled a 16 and a 10, so that is get out of the way. Note perception. Oh, that's a 12.
12. All right. Yeah, no one's watching you.
Okay, he's just gonna look back to them and do you want to keep moving or
keep moving and keep the guard up? If we have to run, we can.
I mean, it's either an ambush or like a buried treasure. So,
or buried body?
Yeah.
On that note, Casario, what is your passive investigation again?
12.
All right. So you look around and you say, probably like buried treasure or like, buried person with like a bandage and whatnot. And as you shift your head around, in the corner of your eye, you notice a little glinting on top of the grave.
Do you
What?
see that?
Hmm?
I mean, it looks like something shiny, but which reinforces the whole.
Keep walking, okay? Let's keep
All right,
walking.
well,
pretend we don't see it,
Yeah,
and I'll get Boo. Go grab whatever it is. Okay?
Yeah, because who would bury like a really important necklace or something like right on the road, right? Nobody would do that.
No.
Honey.
It's quite stupid to think that. Yeah.
All right, we're moving on.
On the
But
other
it's
hand,
tempting. It is tempting. I'm gonna walk backwards, and I'm just gonna keep my eye on it until I can't see it any longer.
wait, you said you were sending your boo after it?
I kind of like think about summoning Boo, and then I'm like, oh gosh, I don't have a lot of juice in me. And I send actually the mage hand out through the ground from the grave really creepily to wave at Casariel.
Yeah, John.
That's
What
really
the shit
funny.
is that, Carla? Is that yours? Is that yours, Carla? Carla, is that yours?
Said
I
what?
keep walking.
What's going on? And he's just walking.
I keep
forward, too.
walking. But as it kind of comes up, whatever's glinting on that grave, it'll try to pick up.
All right, it can actually.
Yeah.
Do you want to take it closer?
It's picking it up and we're waiting for a reaction, and I will wait for a reaction a little bit down the road until I get out of the range of the mage hand, and then I'll drag it forward.
All right, nothing seems
So about
to be
30 feet.
happening.
Okay. After 30 feet then, I'm going to drag along the mage hand with me to come
Alright.
see what it is.
As the mage hand gets closer, it seems to be holding a very small disc.
I make it like over to Casariel. He like flips the coin over towards Casariel.
All right, I'll catch it as a reaction, then I instantly regret it. Fuck.
It is not a coin. It is a very small mirror, about the size of a pocket mirror.
All right.
Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving.
Okay, I noticed it's a mirror. Yeah, but I don't want to look in it though. So, anything else?
You don't want to look in it?
What do you have there, Casario?
Hell no. Carla is very helpfully flicked this right in my hand. I caught it against my better judgment, but
Your reflexes are incredible.
yeah, thank you. No, but I'm a bit freaked out, to be honest. You want to look in the mirror, John?
Sure. He
What
sort
if
of
it
leans
steals
closer
your
to
soul?
look at you.
Never look in the mirror. Never. I'm gonna turn the mirror down. Is there anything on the other side?
On the other side, it seems to be just the backside of a mirrors in these times were usually not made of glass, but they were made of like a very shiny metal. So the backside is just non-shiny metal.
Well, what if we looked at a mirror through a mirror? Because I've got a little hand mirror in my thieves' tools.
I will hand it backside towards her over to Carla.
Right.
Okay,
You
I want.
are some of the expert in this.
God, it would be so useful to have the dog now.
We haven't talked about the dog. Thank you for reminding me about that. What the shit was that, Carla?
It got in the way of my spell. I regret it so deeply. Oh my.
Do you insight check?
Okay, roll one. Roll.
Are we rollies right now? Are we? What's happening?
You can roll an insight check against me and figure out whether or not I.
Thank you. That's a 14 plus
Go ahead.
5. 19.
I'll do a deception. Oh, okay. Yeah, you definitely beat me. She has no remorse for killing that dog. For what she was concerned, it was not a real dog.
As far as John's concerned, that entire thing was an illusion and nothing in it was real. So it's like
that dog. the next time, that I find a companion, maybe we just don't smush it into paste.
Sure. Listen, it was
No
an
hard feelings.
accident. No hard feelings.
No hard feelings, really. I mean, it was a crazy time. It was like a...
What if that dog had gone up and, pissed on Strahd's leg last night? It's a hindrance. It slows things down.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, it could have
Oh,
been the key to
man. I
killing.
really want to know who knows what. What could it be?
All right. Well, anyway, no, I mean, I tend to be affectionate towards animals, especially. So,
it was a tense situation. Honestly, I didn't think any of us would make it out of there. The dog died, I assumed I was also dying.
Hard feelings, honestly. I understand. But if I name something again, perhaps we can just try to...
Very well. Anything that's named won't get murdered, and I look at John specifically, and I pocket the mirror. I don't look at it while she's distracted. I'm trying to, keep her attention away from that.
You don't want to look at it?
No, just pocket it.
Alright, you don't have a mirror with you.
Casario, don't let her kill me.
You're named! Don't worry.
Don't
Probably
piss me
trained
off,
him
John.
He's just walking by, John Barenthal. John.
There and
I
there.
would never let her kill you, buddy. I give him a little...
I work you slipped into Tori again.
Anne?
Yes?
Make sure that you add that mirror to your inventory then if you pocket it.
Alrighty. Yeah, I just want to keep her...
So you can just...
Yeah.
What
I'm
did
sure
you
it
have? You
is.
can just do a +1.
Sure.
Should we mark on the map where we found it, though, just in case it's like a...
Sure.
Grave site by the road. And he keeps walking.
Creepy mirror.
Yeah, I give it a look, and then I keep going.
I see it. It seems like there's a fork in the road coming up.
Yes, indeed.
So looking at the map, I'm going to try and go towards the direction where the pool is, where he said that the Vistani are. I'm going to point out that direction.
You happen to come upon a crossroad. And on this crossroad, hang on. Don't move just yet. It seems this crossroad has two paths, one leading left or west, the other leaning right or north. On both sides of the path, there are things. On the left side, you notice there are some gallows, and on the right side, there are a couple of graves.
The decor here is frankly awful.
Yes.
Neverwinter has, shit on the streets, but it's not as bad as this.
Didn't he say that it was north?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Towards the pool.
The sound of crows echo in the mist, and you'd almost say that it's perhaps a warning for those that have arrived in the seemingly haunted realm. The gallows stand in the mist, decrepit, but standing. And across the road, there's a low wall that partially obscures a graveyard. One can imagine those who lay to rest over there had most likely suffered the fate of the gallows. There seemed to be a signpost near the crossroad, but you can't make out what it says from where you are standing right now.
Walk closer to give it a look.
Was all of the road this cheerful up until now?
Yeah.
Oh. It was noon, sun shining. I was thinking it was a nice walk. Not anymore.
No. This is not the yellow brick road.
John's going to sort of, seeing all this, he's going to take his place slightly ahead of Carla, and he's just, as she walks, he's going to sort of just keep a little bit ahead, just basically she's gonna do the walking, and he's just gonna make sure that he's imposing himself between her and potential danger.
Okay. As you look, 12 and 13, right? Passive perception. As you look up, you notice that the trees have large cobwebs on them.
John, you know you know this is I don't do cobwebs.
It's just old. There's probably some small spider somewhere that made some webs over time.
Nope. We're going to run through here and get the fuck out of here as fast as possible. And I start jogging. I was originally taking a look behind to make sure we were safe, and now I am, unless anybody wants to run with me, I'm pulling ahead.
Carla, come along, I suppose.
Gracia, and I'm gonna run along with her.
Yep.
And go towards the direction.
John's gonna
go ahead.
Keep an eye on the graves on the right, looking for any movement or anything that looks threatening.
And that's interesting because, hang on, as you get to the actual middle of the crossroads, you notice that there is indeed some movement along the graves over there. 2 men pop their heads off from behind the little stone wall. And they look at the 3 of you and they say, "Oi, move along. You don't have no interest here."
I was so hoping to say that.
Continue running.
I was so hoping to say, "Oi, what you want? Yeah, what you want?" Just anyway, moving along. Yes, we're just passing through.
Yeah,
we're not interested.
Nothing to see here. You see, both of them are holding shovels.
There we go.
Grave robbing's so tacky these days. Just go to an old abandoned house and take all the shit.
You want to run past them?
Yeah.
Casario's already run past them. I'm just following her.
Actually, I stopped.
I have to ask.
Okay.
It probably looks like I'm going to question them about the creepy shovels and the weird shit that's going on. But I do, instead I say, "There's spiders around here. Don't lie to me. Spiders. Are there spiders around here? Are they huge? What kind of spiders around here?"
There's no spiders around here, lady. Move along. And you see that they have dug one of those graves open.
Since I'm standing here, I'm going to look in the grave. No spiders. Suspicious. That's suspicious.
You see that the grave that they've dug open, there's some bones still in there.
John's gonna kind of hang back from Casario and he's look over at Carla, just shrug.
I mean, what are the... She's kind of jogging in place now that she's kind of got her rhythm going. She's like, I mean, there's not any hobbies around here. Grave robbing seems like one of the more regular ones. Okay, come on, let's go.
Yeah, she gets it. The doctor pays us good money for this, so move along. This is not for you.
She stops immediately. Doctor? Wait, grave robbing dog. That bastard. Do you remember him?
I mean, she can only be talking about one person, but clearly couldn't be him.
Creepy guy that worked with the Silverstar for a while.
Yes,
he was
I
a pet zombie. What was his name? Richard or something?
Daskalu. That's the one.
Daskalu.
Yeah, he creeped me out.
What's it to you? Just move along. This is our turn.
We actually used to work with the doctor. You know where he is.
How do we?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're his friends, actually.
I don't know about that. He kind of scuppered off after one of our jobs, our missions. Never came back.
Yeah, he took a potion. Do you know anything about that?
They seem quite overwhelmed with all these questions. They're like, just move along. We got work to do for him. Price is a pretty penny for these.
We like money. If we wanted to do work for him, where would we contact him?
Oh, go find your own grave.
Does he work in the mill?
No.
It's one of two places I know.
No. He's got his place all set up.
Damn, thought I
I'm
had
not
you
going to
there.
share that with you.
Oh, come on. Where is it? Come on. We are just people who are lost in here. We're looking for, like, odd jobs, stuff like that. You know, if this is an odd job... I personally am not squeamish around dead people. He is, but I'm not. So, like, where is he? Where can we meet fellow, like, compatriots?
We got a hard time over here as well, lady.
Yeah.
Living over here is no picnic. We do this to get by. We're not sharing.
I'm not doing odd jobs. We're going to see Eva.
That's fine, but
Come on! And I'm going to cast Charm Person on one of them.
Sure. What's the say for that?
12 Wisdom.
Yeah, how much?
DC Wisdom 12.
Fails.
Yeah. So I'm going to look at, like, the one that, like, has mostly been talking to me, and I'm like, come on. Where would we find him?
I mean, if you must know, we drop it off near Valaki, and like he picks it up. We don't know where he lives. He's very insecure about that. But we drop it off near the gates of Valaki, and he just comes pick it up, I guess. Like, you know, he always tells us where we can find the money, and sure enough, it's there.
Oh, okay. So it's a very, like, mysterious job. I'm used to those, so keep it on the no-no, and, you know, I'll stay off your turf, you stay off mine, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go.
And
Let's go.
about those spiders.
Oh yes, any big giant spiders we should be worried about nearby.
Small ones. Honestly, any
Spiders.
spiders.
Spiders,
There's no
yeah,
large spiders around here. Is this Barovia? What do you think? This is not Al-Kharid.
Fair enough. Let's go.
All right.
All right.
There we go.
As all three of you move along, I want all three of you to roll me.
What the hell?
Yes. All three of you may roll me a D12.
Ooh.
Oh, D12. Oh, exciting.
So this
Something
isn't
different.
a check, so it's not a disadvantage for me?
This is not a
Okay.
check.
Yay.
11. I don't know if that's good or not. I got excited, but I really don't know what it means.
Oh!
I got a 5.
12!
We instantly die. Cool.
All right.
Anything
Kasari,
above a
what did you
10.
get?
11.
11. All right. Carla,
Oh, exciting.
you having the lowest of the three.
Hmm.
You want to turn around and run away, but something catches your eye for a second. You turn back and you look towards the gallows. And the gallows, once empty, now have a body swaying in the wind, hung from its rope. You look closely at it, but you recognize it instantly. It's you. Dead. John, Casariel, you see nothing.
I tap Kazariel on the shoulder. Tag, you're it. Race you.
Oh, you fucker. I'm just going to go after him.
I'm gonna look away and see them and kind of look back. And jog after them.
All right.
You've never been faster than me. Give up now.
Oh god, this armor's heavy.
Can we roll for this? Who's faster?
I will roll my athletics check with disadvantage.
Come on, athletic
yeah.
checks, both of you. Rollies, let's see.
Yeah, rollies? Okay, rollies.
Wait, yeah, rollies. What's
it.
happening?
Do athletic checks. Go on. No, not athletics. Just do rollies. Straight 20s. Let's see
Oh,
who goes faster.
Okay, well in that case I gotta reroll. I did disadvantage. I got a 7 on my athletics check with disadvantage.
It's not an
Oh,
athletic checks.
two.
Just
Oh!
straight.
Oh! I crit!
It's the only crit you're gonna get for the night.
I tricked John.
I got 2 crits. One was on a perception check, and the other didn't matter.
Oh,
I rolled
this
it.
John
is-
races. Sorry, go on.
it's still like a check, right? So you need to make a disadvantage here.
I already did that. So if it was with disadvantage, I got a 4. Or sorry, 7.
Wah.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys rush on, right?
Yeah.
All right. Other than that, nothing seems to happen. You can continue your journey.
As we're like
north, yeah.
slowing down after running after each other. So, it seems like the good doctor found himself in these parts.
When John slows down, I take him by the shoulders and I sweep the leg.
Boom.
I sweep the leg. Do you fall?
Yeah, he's on the ground staring up at the
Saloon.
sky.
Say saloon. Say it. Say saloon.
Saloon.
Say it.
Yes. Yeah, he's looked at the sky and goes, fair enough.
Whew. How did you run so fast?
I don't know. I was tired, and those guys were creepy.
No, you... Whatever. Anyway, where are we?
We're heading towards the camp.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Getting around the bend where you are right now, you're starting to notice that there's a large pool of water directly in front of you.
Who?
Is it like a lake?
Yeah, or a pool.
I mean, given the distance, it would take quite a bit to traverse this. Like just if I were to take up my armor and swim, it seems like it would be quite a challenge.
I'm going to go. Do you see that? I'm going to run up to the edge. I'm going to go. Oh my god! And I'm going to start backing up.
To what?
What?
The edge of what?
What?
The water.
If you get closer to the edge of the water, you will notice that there's actually camp nearby.
Did you see that? Don't look.
What? What? He's gonna get up next to her. And, what's out there?
I push him right in the water.
That'll be outside of the camp, so sure.
I attempt to push him right in the water.
If you want to do
Go on,
an
do
opposing check,
an
you
I'm
can.
gonna
do an
try
opposing check.
I'm gonna try to avoid that.
I would say that's a strength versus dexterity. Let's see what
All right.
happens.
Ooh. Oh, wait, so my strength?
or her
Your
strength?
strength versus his dexterity.
Oh,
You're both
God.
stuck at that, so let's see
Hilarious.
what happens.
Hilarious.
Critical miss.
Shut up. Oh,
Natural
you were
one. Natural one.
Yes. I rolled a 14. I mean, I'm sorry. No, 13 minus 1 is 12. 12.
Yeah, no, you're yeah, no, you go face first into the mud, John.
You didn't see anything.
Do you see it? It's really scary.
He
Oh,
stands
no.
up. He just kind of glares at you and starts wiping mud off.
What happened? Oh no, are you alright?
You'd think that a priestess of saloon would handle herself with more decorum, but no.
Is that what you
You
think?
start to look like more and more of a Barovian villager after all, John.
I take out the handkerchief that I usually use for Boo, and I like kind of wet it a little bit in the water and like bring it out and I hand it to him. I'm like, come on, get yourself presentable.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
He looks right at
Yeah.
Kira.
You can-
Thanks.
From here, you can very easily spot the small gathering that is close to the water. It is also getting late. It is getting dark. But you can, because of that, very easily take out the, spot the lights and the campfire that is going on.
Reckon that's a place.
Yeah. Should we
Do you want to approach?
do any
Yes.
recon, or do you think we should just go on? I forgot to ask really if they were friendly. Right? Everyone just said go
Oh.
there, but
We were supposed to go here. I mean, they were friendly right up until Lingari stole all of our things.
Can't hear you. There's a little bit of mud on you. Right here. You got. No, it's over there.
Whatever, it's fine. I'll just have mud on me.
I'm gonna look at Carla and just grin.
From the roadside, looking towards the pool, you notice several camps, several tents, a couple of wagons, and a rather large wagon/tent on one side. By all means, you see a lot of light, so there must be activity here.
Well, we either run out of town for being strangers, or if this Madame Eva is as true of a seer as everyone else has said, we will be expected. Though a backup plan is always good, so I'll try to summon what I can to get us out of here if needs be. I've got my invisibility that I can impart upon others, not just myself, and I have my friends to help me as well. So we have a plan. But best to approach with a friendly face. These people actually know how to get out of here, so, all last-minute plans, last-minute sort of fail-safes, they would probably be it. Try to be nice to them.
So you decide to get closer?
Yeah, we decide to approach, but, slowly, non-threateningly, no weapons out or anything like that, just kind of on our backs, that kind of thing.
These two are trying to be slow and stealthy. John's going to take the amulet that he has, and he's going to hold it by the amulet so that the string is coming down, and he's going to, brush it over the back of Casariel's neck as if it were, a spider crawling on her neck.
Freaks out. Whoa! That's one of those.
Immediately puts it back on and just starts, walking with his hands behind his back.
Yeah? Yeah, nothing. No, you're just whistling?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. What are you...
Yeah? What's that? What's that right there? What's that right there on your forehead? What's that? Huh?
I don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, you know what I'm talking about.
Thanks, Alejandro, for the hint.
You slowly approach the camp, and you notice that around the campfire and here and there between the tents, there's a lot of people moving about. This indeed seems to be a lively camp.
As soon as someone comes near, I go, "Excuse me, sorry."
You'll see one of the people sitting on a barrel over there, just turning around at you and just looking at you yeah?
We're here to see Madame Eva for a reading.
Ah. Yes. Come on over, they say.
I'm looking for Lungari in the face. I'm not saying anything. I'm just looking for Lungari.
All right. You don't immediately spot him.
Okay.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that. Wolf.
As I'm sort of walking as well, I'm kind of looking around a little bit more anxious after everything that I've seen. And sort of looking and trying to spot okay, who has weapons? Okay, where are there gaps where you can kind of run through? Where are there places to hide? That kind of thing.
Most of the people walking around here seem to have daggers and scimitars strapped to their side. So these people know how to fend for themselves. As you get closer to the campfire, you hear that there's a melody being played.
Does that sound familiar?
Funnily enough that you would ask that, Carla, because it doesn't sound familiar to you. John, it doesn't sound familiar to you. But Casariel, maybe this does sound familiar to you.
Yeah, I immediately become more serious and faint, but I seek out kind of the source. Is somebody playing that song, or?
It seems that in the background, a couple of people are standing around with instruments playing some background music here. Yes, you see a violin and an accordion. They're making music.
I'm just gonna watch them for a moment.
John slowly pulls out his tambourine.
Carla slowly
Did I-
lowers his hand.
Oh, okay.
You need a couple more lessons before you jump into that. It's a powerful instrument.
Music is an interesting contrast to the dreariness that you've seen so far of Barovia. As music seems to stir more emotions than the rest of this country, the rest of this land could ever do. It, strangely enough, feels more warm than anything you've seen so far. Cassariel, even more so for you, because indeed, this music sounds like something you might have heard before. But what exactly that might be, we will find out next week.
No! I mean, yeah. Oh, John was about to jam. We gotta get experience as a band.
Sorry,
Build
do you want
a
to be the
band.
lead singer?
Yeah, I
A
don't
band.
think John doesn't have the pipes.
Yeah, you'll be the
Gilded
lead
Band.
singer.
I like that. That should be a thing.
John will play tambourine and I'll do bagpipes.
It sounds like a really great combination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
We're gonna be like the hit every Renaissance fair ever.
Yeah, All Star, just all these kind of like different songs that we play, WAP. We're gonna kill it. Yeah.
Honestly, that's my dream. That's actually my dream, to travel to Renaissance fair and just I can't make
Entertain.
anything, so like singing might be the only thing.
Whoa. Hang on. Let's take this a notch back. You said you can't make anything?
Okay, that's true.
Yeah.
Random. You know what? You're right.
There
You're
you
right.
go.
I sold myself
Make
short on
little
that.
like gift boxes that people can give to people.
I don't know if anybody's gonna buy it, but I did make it for you. Yeah.
I like it.
Rethink that.
So, next week we'll find out what this kind of music is. We'll find out what this camp is about, and we'll find out what that means for our three heroes.
Thank
It's
you
gonna
all.
be fun.
Thank you all for joining us today. Just so everyone knows, if you're watching this or listening in on this in the future, we are live on Twitch on Saturdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you are watching with us live, if you'd like to see our entire backlog of episodes, you can head on over to our YouTube at The Gilded Flask on YouTube, and you can see all of our past episodes and maybe give them a like, share them with friends, let them know the magic of what you've just seen here.
Oh, yes. All right, and with that, we will bid you goodbye, and we'll see you next week.
Thank
Love
all.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Love you all. Bye-bye.